Test? This thing's working? Okay. Then the reason why I can't hear anything is because... You know what? I don't know why I can't hear anything. A monitoring device. That is the wrong monitoring device? Is it the wrong monitoring device? Apply. You know what? I don't know if it's the right monitoring device or not. I can't hear anything. So I think the BGM's going. I don't know if it's going or not. This is gonna be fun. Hello, Black Flame. It's great to see you. I don't know who else is here. Martin, hello. I'm okay. At least that's working. Martin, it's great to see you. Black Flame, hello. It's I'm still slightly jet lagged. And I got my COVID booster shot the other day, so I am mildly dead. But it's okay. We're fine. Everything is fine. This is probably going to be a more brief stream. Anyhow, but I hope you all been doing well. I hope you enjoyed all the content that I prepped while I was gone. Yeah, great. As long as it's not too goddamn loud, we'll take it. But yes, I hope you're all doing well. I have basically just been catching up with all my work and hanging out with Jeffrey, because we have Jeffrey now, and I love Jeffrey. Jeffrey's the best. Yeah. So when I got back, I basically just played a lot of catch up with Ayla on projects and stuff, and then actual work projects and stuff. Oh lord. But I hope you've all been well. You put out Yes, I put out You're good, Martin. It's all good. You have a life outside the internet, and I'm glad you have a life outside the internet. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for at least like trying to catch up with stuff this week. I did find that paper on cute aggression, and I have read through it. I just have to write up a script for the cute aggression paper. And yeah, I was surprised. The cute aggression paper was slightly older than I was expecting, because I found the article a bit. When did I find it? I found it this year. But anyways, hello Isaac, we're just getting started. Please take your time and grab some water before we get prepped for class. Take a seat, get your notebook out, whatever you need to do to be successful for class today. We're gonna chill for a moment before we hop into things. I'm hoping that some of these new buttons that I programmed work. One night I was super jet lagged and I was like, I'm just gonna clean up OBS. You know what, Martin? I'm going to choose to believe that you are not chronically on the internet. Because I can. And so, yes, if you have not done so already, please go and stare out a window or something. I genuinely do throughout my workday. When I get really, really stressed out, I'll just stare out a window for a little bit, or I'll just go outside and stare. It's kind of like, I forgot what meme it is. But it's kind of like the meme. I'll send it one day. That's basically me in a nutshell. I just sit, stare out the window, and hope that things don't go to crap and set on fire. Because, you know, that's my life. It's fantastic. Boy, do I love it. That is absolutely the wrong map that's up. That's fine. That's fine. Anyways, studio mode. Let's get this party started. Let me double check that I have nothing that's going to dox me on my desktop at the moment, and let's switch over. Yeah, the buttons work. Yes, Australia trip. I put little to no effort into trying to make this pretty, because I was like, I have less than 4 days. I have a lot of pictures to sort through, and I have Jeffrey. And so, you know what? We're going minimalist, simple, black-white pictures. Also, hello. I went to Australia for a work conference. I explained it as work conference. It was basically me hanging out with other academics that I generally like. I think academia and VTubing have a lot of similarities. In the same way that VTubers, like, you know, I want to get good content out that my friends will see, that, you know, the people that I look up to, my Oshis, will see. In the same way, academia does the same thing, you know? I just have to write like a 10-page paper that's like, hey, I want these scholars that I will look up to notice me. Notice me. Oh, we have a meetup at this con? Notice me. Let me have time to talk with you and chat. Basically, con life, academia con life, and VTuber con life, no different whatsoever. So really, this was just me like please notice me. Okay, I'm not that desperate. Okay, let me correct that. I am not that desperate when I go. Truly, when I went to this conference, I was like, I just want to go to Australia. So I submitted a paper that I thought was going to get rejected. I submitted a poster that I thought was going to get rejected. But after that, though, I was invited to sit on a panel. And then I was invited to like help lead a session, and I was like, well, god dang it, I didn't have to submit any papers. Quick question, is that whale Jeffrey? Yes, Martin, this whale is Jeffrey. Jeffrey is the best. Let me get Jeffrey out. Hello, Jeffrey now lives here. Jeffrey is a permanent resident. We'll talk more about Jeffrey later. But yes, that is Jeffrey. And so basically, my first 4 days in Melbourne were just conferencing and hanging out at the conference hotel. Even though the first day when we got there, like I saw so much food. Basically, the venue that I was near, I can't even say venue, it was like a hotel. The hotel we were near was like a 5-minute walk from Chinatown. It was fantastic. There was so much good, delicious food nearby, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna get food provided, so I was like, okay, I need to go to this restaurant, this restaurant, this restaurant, and we're going to hope it's cheap. If not, my conference friends are going to help offset the cost. So, yes, Jeffrey is almost a day two conference buddy. But okay, while I was in Australia, I went to 2 cities. I went to Sydney and Melbourne. Basically, my flight over was I had a layover in San Francisco, and then I flew all the way to Melbourne. So getting to San Francisco took 6 hours, and then from San Francisco to Melbourne is 15 hours, but going there, you move ahead in time. So basically, it turned into like a 24-hour trip, because even though it was 15 hours, I lost 24 of them. But I also really like traveling on planes. I do enjoy long plane rides, because given I don't get too bloated, I am able to just sit and work. Oh my god. Hello, Booney, welcome on in. Yes, I'm glad to be back home safe and slightly jet lagged and still catching up with work. But I did a lot of working on the plane, and it was very, very productive. Basically, on the plane, they just give me food, they give me water, and I sleep and write. That's basically it, in a nutshell, and it's wonderful. As long as I try to plan my sleeping schedules accordingly, then it's okay. Yeah, I feel like it's a special kind of breed of people that I can tolerate it, but also I think it's practice. Like, once you sit your butt down for that long, like, you get used to it. It's not bad, and I would absolutely do this trip again. Like, I loved Australia. It's by far, by far, Canada, Australia are up there in my cities to visit. My favorite thing about Australia, though, was seeing other Asian people and them speaking English to me. Like, I could get all the great Asian food that I wanted, but no one tried to speak any form of Asian language to me. Halls spoke Chinese to me, and I was like, that's fine. But like, I could go around and just get Asian food, and there's so much of it everywhere, and the US dollar is stronger than the AUD, the Australian dollar. I'm not gonna say it's incredibly strong, but it's stronger than them, so doing stuff is semi-cheaper. But I still need money and stuff. Money. Anyways, so I really, really enjoyed Australia a lot. Also, hello, Poco, Konjuni. Okay, so let's hop into things first. So the first city that I visited was Melbourne, and first things about Australia, whenever I travel, I love to go to fast food places. And so you'll see that I go to a McDonald's, I check out some other Australian fast food chains, but I saw this place called Hungry Jack's, and I'm like, what the heck is a Hungry Jack? Like, this looks oddly familiar to Burger King, and I'm like, is this just Burger King? And so I found a Hungry Jack, and you can see in the sign here, it's like Whopper. And I was like, wait. Why do you have a Whopper? Yeah, it's Hungry Jacks are Burger Kings. And so they have Whoppers, they have everything else. Just Hungry Jack. And I'm like, why is it called a Hungry Jack? What? So my thought about why it's called Hungry Jacks instead of Burger King is I've also realized Commonwealth countries are a thing. Also, hello, Daisy. Please tell me. Okay, the one meal that I had at a Hungry Jack. So the one thing I decided was I'm not going to get any of like their normal lunch options because it's like the same as the American like lunch options, but each fast food chain had this thing called a brekkie burger and toasties. And so, okay, we'll get to the food later, but I made it a priority that if I was going to eat at any of these fast food chains, I would need to focus on the quote-unquote brekkie burger and the toasty. Also, I love like Australian, like some of the terms that they use. I was with a friend at a bar and she asked me like, are you feeling peckish? And I was like, what's peckish? What's a oh, peckish? Peckish is hungry. Am I hungry? And so, yeah. I was like, oh, that makes sense. They also have things called prams instead of strollers. Also, hello, little green bean. Welcome on in. Okay, so Burger King was already established as a single restaurant in South Australia before the Burger King franchise was brought to Australia, and they lost the bet. That's hilarious. That makes so much sense. That's also hilarious. Oh my god. Well, that's why they're Hungry Jacks. Thank you, Booty, for that Australian history. But yeah, I was also in a tour group with some other Commonwealth country people, and the tour guide, the question I'd asked it. Okay, I'll get to that story later, because Commonwealth countries are their own thing. It's a whole. I don't know anything about the Commonwealth because we are the quote unquote Yanks, and that is what they affectionately call us, the Yanks. Anyhow, this is the Melbourne airport sign when I get in, and also please do check out Booney Bun if you haven't. I've like popped in on her streams once or twice, but she's got a very cool chill vibe, so please do check her out if you have the opportunity. Okay, so the first day that I was there, you know what? That's fine. You're just gonna listen to me at the bread store. I like how in Australia they shorten some of their fast food places. Yeah, they shorten everything. Is brekkie, McDonald's was called Macca's? And I was like, what's a Macca? And I was like, is this like a, I don't know. But like, yeah, Macca is McDonald's. I don't know what Hungry Jack's is, but it took me forever to figure out what a Macca was. Okay, so the first day that we went there, obviously the first thing I do is I get ramen. And so the ramen place that we went to, let me see if I can make this a bit smaller so you can see the tab. Okay, little bit smaller, but it works. So the first place that I went to, no worries, Booney, have a wonderful time. Also the first place that I went to was Hakata Gensuke Tonkotsu Ramen. So you know, you go to Australia, land down under, the first thing that I eat is ramen. And so with my travel buddy, she also got a ramen and we also got some chicken. And while I was sitting here, the first thing I hear is, and then da 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 ba ba da da Idol, and that was the first time I heard at the restaurant, and I was like, oh, this is how it's gonna be. We're just gonna listen to Idol while we're here. And then some other J-pop songs played. I think it was like something from Radwimps, and I'm just sitting there eating my ramen. I was like, you know what? It really doesn't feel like I've got anywhere unique. Oh my god. But what I would say about the ramen overall, it wasn't like incredibly special. Like it was good ramen, but I don't think it was worth the price of the ramen. It was good ramen still. Like I don't think you all understand how much like basically Australia for me is, Australia in a nutshell is me going to Taiwan or Korea or Japan, but not having to speak the language. I get all the food. Not as many food stalls like the big franchises or bigger franchises, but I can just go around, eat all the food, not have to speak the language, and I'm okay. Like we're Gucci. So I really enjoy Australia for that purpose. The place over here is Bread Top Bakery. Let me mute this tab for a second. Let me mute it. So you all don't have to listen to all the weird sounds. Okay, so back. So yeah, the place that I went to on the right is the bakery that I went to. It's Bread Top. I know of Bread Top Bakery. I've seen a couple of them, but never have I seen like this common of a bread top. So they had like so many delicious breads there. Also, hello Choco Milk Tea. Basically, like the bread that I got was what did I get? I got like it was like a bread in the let me see if I can pause the video. Cinnamon donut, no. That's the curry donut, the coconut custard. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Huh. I didn't get a video of it, but they have like a bread that's shaped like a donut, and then inside, it's basically made of taro in the inside, and then green tea. It was matcha bread with taro filling, and it was the most delicious thing. I also got, because I just like almond croissants, I got an almond filled croissant, cause delicious times. And then I also got, I got one more bread there. But usually when I go to conferences, because food is expensive, I just buy bread for breakfast, and we eat bread. We eat bread for days. But I also didn't realize how common these bread tops were. This bread top didn't have like an end of the bread day sale. They were just like, bread's full price, have fun. And I was like, oh, but all the Asian bakeries, I've never seen so many of them. And I got ripped off. But it's okay, I had good bread still. Yay, good bread. Okay, so the next place that we went to on our first day was the Melbourne Museum. And the Melbourne Museum is freaking massive. Like this place is huge. It goes from here all the way. Yeah, I don't know, it's big. That's all I have to say. It's very large. Big, very big museum. And the museum has basically two sides. It has the like ancient dinosaur fossils, and then they have a whole exhibit on the first peoples of Australia. And first peoples are what in the United States would be like indigenous Native Americans. But also at the Melbourne Museum, they had this really cool exhibit called Relics, and this was a collaboration with the Lego company, and they imagined a world like post-humans, where Lego minifigures like took over and did their own thing. I have a ton of pictures and videos. It costs a little bit extra, but also Legos, like I'm here for Legos. I love Legos, and it was super cool. So we went to the Lego exhibit as well, and also on my right, if you I need to scooch these over. On my right, on my left, as you can see, I have a wonderful toilet. Look at that toilet. This is a toilet inside the Melbourne Museum, and I will give all my toilet ratings later. I am withholding all toilet information for the purposes of this presentation till the end, because I want to rate all the toilets at one time, and also I am going to try to make a map of all the toilets I visited, and I'm gonna make a map of all the toilets I visited. And if we have extra time at the end of the stream, I'm going to start that project. So all the toilets are literally in the back of the presentation. But this toilet is by far my favorite, and I want to specifically talk about this toilet because it was a part of an exhibit. This is not a toilet that you could unfortunately use or fortunately use, but it was like an old, basically like if you came as a settler into Melbourne, like what your typical house would look like, and like what kind of amenities you'd have. Look, Martin, look. The toilets, as I have stated before, toilets mark this. You know what? We'll get there later. Okay, so this Lego exhibit, I have a bunch of them. So the exhibit had like 12 different Lego parts. And so this first exhibit over here is called Trashtopia. And the story behind Trashtopia is once humans are gone, like there's a lot of waste left in the world. And so what do the minifigures do? The minifigures try to work with the waste that we have left over. And as you can see in this picture, like this is a crane built on a dumpster, and like there's a whole story that goes along with it. Like there's this thing. There's a whole like description of what are the pieces. So this isn't even like the whole exhibit. The next slide has like a bunch more videos, but this story is like Lego figures taking over an arcade and like crane games. And so you can see this is built on an old arcade game, an arcade cabinet. Arcade cabinet is the word. And this one is also built in an arcade cabinet. This one is this Lego set you can see is built in a piano, and this is by far my favorite. I thought this was really creative how they did this. I wasn't sure if the piano was usable. Like we weren't allowed to touch the exhibits because, you know, Legos don't touch the exhibits. That didn't stop children from touching the exhibits, but also I was offended. Okay, as a student, I get a student discount, and when you start this exhibit, they give you a brochure that gives you like, you know, things to think about. Like it's basically like a look for this character, or what question, answer this question. And so I saw that they had 3 brochures. Now, as myself, despite being a student, my ticket said student price, and my travel buddy was considered like an adult price. And so when we looked at our brochures, we realized we got different brochures. And what my brochure said was young at heart. And I was like, excuse me, I am very much an adult. But also I do like being young at heart. But I don't like how I was categorized as a young at heart. What if I'm just young? You know, maybe I want the children's brochure. So anyhow, I got the young at heart brochure, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm offended. But anyhow, I digress, as apparently I'm young at heart and not just young. Fine. This is a piano set built, or this is a Lego set built into a piano, an upright piano. And so you can see like there's a whole story. They have like a little club here. There's like an entrance to a bar here. They got jazz. They have a saxophonist out here, like etude bar. They have like a Broadway show down here. Like if you look really carefully into each of these pictures, there's so much going on. Like actually, let me get the brochure really fast. Okay, the brochure, it's a scavenger hunt, but like in the, 68th Street. The piano is called 68th Street, and it says, not everyone is happy on 88th Street. I'm sorry, it says 88th Street. I can read. Not everyone is happy on 88th Street. What is the sad performer at the stage door dressed as? Also, this took me forever to find. Like, who is sad here? Like, tell me, where is the sadness? And I think, actually, I never found them. I truly never found that. And then the second question is, which famous escape artist invented the trick being performed in the Adagio music show, or magic show? I can't read. This is why I got the young at heart. And so, okay, this is the Adagio, and I don't know who the person is. You know? Like, who is that? All the sets really look nice, but the piano, oh yeah. Well, this isn't even the coolest one. This is my favorite, but it's not the coolest in my opinion. But like some of these questions, like, I don't know, man. This is not young at heart. These are old people references, like older than me references. Anyhow, yeah, that was a really cool one. There was also this arcade cabinet. I don't see sad. See, exactly. That's why. Clearly, I was here to stare at where's the sad people. I don't see the sad people. Tell me where the sad people are. Okay, actually, I can say there was a sad person there, and that was me listening to all the screaming children running around, because clearly this exhibit was built not for me. You know, hence the young at heart. Yeah, there was a lot of children there. And I feel like this could have been targeted at more like an adult audience. Like this, I guess it is an adult audience in some way, because like it's kind of a dark topic matter, you know, it's like post-human. But you know, Legos, children, which is fine, but there was a lot of screaming children. And again, it was also like a Saturday, so yeah, the screaming children should be at the museum. Anyhow, here's some more of the exhibits. This exhibit is built into the back of a car. The front of the car also had a whole thing. So the story behind the car was the Lego people, the minifigures needed oil for some reason, and like natural resources, and like they wanted to excavate all resources out of vehicles. They built. They have like a system to excavate like resources out of vehicles. This is the arcade cabinets again, and so this is like a full picture of all the arcade cabinets. You can see over here is the middle one that I found. So this is the middle of the arcade cabinets, and you can see there's little people in there, and then there's like little tunnels that go in. But this bottom one is like a full-on jet ski, and there's like a whole resort town around the jet ski. Like, see, even though minifigures don't have concepts of human social structures, why are they replicating the systems that we currently have in place? Tell me, I have questions. They did build around the engine. So in the front engine, I do have pictures of the front engine, I just didn't put it in, but they do have pictures where they built around the engines. It was really, really cool. It's always cool to see what you can create and invest with Lego. Yeah, and like this, and I was trying to figure out like how did they level all of this? Like I think they just, I think what they did was they just leveled it and then glued some panels onto it and built on top of it. But even so, to get some of the heights right for all of this is really, really challenging. So this was like a super, super cool exhibit overall. I had a lot of fun. We didn't have much time left at the museum because the museum closed at like 5 and we got there at like 2. So I wasn't able to like sit and just be here for 3 hours trying to complete everything. Oh, I found the prompt. Okay, so the whole prompt behind the Lego relics thing is the year is 2530. After centuries of environmental decline, humans no longer remain on planet Earth. In their absence, the planet is slowly recovering. Amongst the waste, a collection of forgotten objects is now blossoming with Lego worlds. Explore this new world rising and discover the stories within. Yeah, that's it. So, if you ever do get to see the relics exhibit, I would strongly recommend going. I'm guessing it's a traveling exhibit, but you know, I don't know. It was super cool to see all of this, and I think, oh darn it, I didn't. There's this one over here. I didn't take a full video, but this is like built into a jukebox and stuff. Yeah, if you're ever in Melbourne and the exhibit's still up, I would recommend going. It's a very cool and inspirational experience for Legos. Yeah, it really was a prompt. Like when I saw like the relics scavenger hunt, relics exhibit, I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And then I got in, it was all dark, and the first thing you see is Trashtopia, and it's like, I see where we're going with this. Yeah, not what I was expecting, but it's cool. But it was really, really cool. And I think even this exhibit over here, this is built into an old clock that not operational, it moves. But yeah, they're built into an old clock, and I think it's really cool to see how they can reimagine some of the things that were in the Lego world. So anyhow, that is the special Lego exhibit. The other things, the normal things at the museum though, are the dinosaur fossils, which I just kind of zoomed by. Like I'm gonna be honest, like dinosaurs are cool, but most countries have like their own collection of dinosaur fossils, and like as a more social scientist-y person, I'm very much more interested in like the social histories of countries. They also had like a whole exhibit on First Peoples, and they also had like Australian history on the second floor, which I found very interesting. So it went into like, you know, how was Melbourne founded? Why is Melbourne the city that it is today? Like what kind of economy does it have? You know, the stuff people love. Not just Zhuni, everyone loves economics and social policy and city planning. Wow, yeah, we're all excited about that. I know you're excited about that because I am. Toilets. So anyhow, yes, that was like the other part of the museum. It was just a bunch of fossils. I don't know, dinosaurs. Look, dinosaur. I should have read into this, but I don't know if this dinosaur was actually in Australia because the whole Pangea thing, and I don't. Huh. I should have read more. Anyways, the most important thing that I found is at the museum store, though. Look, this is a book that I found in the museum store. I must say this is a literary masterpiece. This is the book. If you cannot read the title, allow me to read it for you. What is poo? And I just had to take a moment to just sit and read through this beautiful piece of literature. Unfortunately, none of the flaps were open, and I didn't want to take the book in the museum store and like start opening all the flaps. But from what I read, it very well discussed what is poo from a variety of angles. Like, you know, we get the angle of the elephant's booty. We got the angle of whales. There was a whole scene on whales pooping, humans pooping, sitting on toilets. And I gotta say, it thoroughly answered my questions on what is poo. Would read again, would highly recommend. Oh, Sylvia, Greece is a lot of fun. I have yet to go to Egypt, but Greece is more fun for just vacationing and relaxing. I think in terms of history, you have to like be really intentional about where you go. Oh, Greece is good vacationing and hiking as well. Yeah, everyone does poop and we should normalize it. Look, all I'm gonna say before we have any other comments is we all poop. I don't know why it's something taboo. It should be normalized as a conversation. If you're how shall I phrase this? Get more fiber in your system. That's all I'm gonna say. Eat more fiber and make sure that you're pooping once a day or semi-regularly for whatever works for your body. Moving on. After that, we decided after getting like semi-expensive ramen, we saw like a cheap udon place down the street, and so we got udon Yasan, and it was good. Like for like I think it was like less than 10 USD. It ended up like being a very filling and tasty meal. Like would definitely go there again. Like I didn't get to go again because too many food places, so little time. But the I have nothing else to say. It was good udon, like good cheap udon, and it was really fast. Like they made the udon, like they hand pulled it on the spot, and they added some really nice beef for a low price. The place was not incredibly nice is what I'll say. Like the place was, you know, this is how I'll phrase it. The prices of food was cheap, and because the price of the food was cheap, they didn't need to have super high upkeep of the space. So it was basically sit yourself down, here's a plastic chair, go get your own utensils and stuff, and it was fine. Like I love those vibes. I'm here for it. There's nothing taboo about it. It's just an unexpected subtopic during this presentation. Look, pooping is normal, toilets are normal. Okay, what I will say, to make this more relevant, whenever I'm traveling, my bathroom schedule gets completely messed up. What I'll say is, at this point, I do use the bathroom at very regular intervals, and I can say even almost being a week into my time back in the States, my schedule has not normalized yet, and it is very uncomfortable. I will leave it at that. Hence, I have now tied in pooping and defecation into this presentation in a way that very much ties into the flow. Yes. Anyhow, udon and katsu was delicious. Good times. Would recommend if you're ever in Melbourne. I think another night, we got soup dumplings, and my partner in traveling is very, very passionate about finding good places to eat at. And so she found this amazing soup dumpling restaurant, and this was very much like a hole-in-the-wall restaurant. So this was after day one of conferencing. I didn't like go out and like hang out with people because I quite frankly, I'm not gonna try to force those relationships. Like, you know, I don't want to force relationships that don't need to be there for the sake of like schmoozing. It just doesn't make sense. I think if like I give a cool presentation, like I want to chat with you afterwards, like sure, we can have a conversation. But I have done my fair share of like schmoozing and boozing with people, and it doesn't feel fantastic on my soul. And so I really appreciate the time just being able to hang out with my friends after conferencing. And so the soup dumplings that we got here, if you see the broth in this picture, this is a super clear broth. This is a pork soup dumpling. And whenever you get soup dumplings, one of the ways that you can one of the ways that I measure soup dumpling quality is the clearness of the broth. So sometimes you'll see like there's a lot of fat in the soup, and it doesn't like it doesn't taste as smooth and as clear. You always want a clear broth when you're trying to cook soups. So like when you're making like a pho broth or like any kind of broth, you like scrape off the bubbles and the oils that pop up. And so you can see in this broth, it is super clear. This is a delicious pure broth. And although I will say the appearance of the soup dumplings aren't like, they're not beautiful. They're not like a Din Tai Fung dumpling, but like the quality was fantastic. And also the mapo tofu, it was like, yes, mapo tofu is kind of like it's classic go-to food, but I like getting the classic go-tos whenever I go to restaurants, because I think if you can't do the basics right, then like how are the rest of your foods here? Also, hello bruh corruption, good day. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna try to do my Australian accent, although I do know how to say some of the Australian things, like Melbourne, I think it's Melbourne in Sydney, but my Australian accent, I would just like, when we're walking around, I'd listen to people and I'd just be like, I just try to copy what they say. I don't do accents well. Like, yeah, it's bad. My accents are bad. But, Didian. Oh, the first #1 Juicy Bao is a very good restaurant. It's a hole in the wall. So the first day after conferencing we went, but at the end of conferencing, I saw this place was packed. It was so busy. But it was really good. Would recommend and eat again. Okay, where does Jeffrey come from? After soup dumplings, we looked across the street and we saw this place called Tan Ying, and I was like, I've never seen this place. And we saw that they had this thing on their wall over here that's like, oh, this is our soft opening, so come on in and check us out. And so there weren't this many people during their soft opening. The soft opening was like, what, maybe like this much? And so I went in and I was like, I'm very curious about their like what kind of boba they have, or like what kind of teas, because like one, the marketing looks nice, like it is on point. So like this, it's a soft opening. I've never seen this place before, so let me just go on in and check it out. So I went on in, and it's basically this tiny corner over here. Like there's 3 employees crammed into that corner. There's one person taking orders, one person smashing limes and lemons to make drinks, another person pouring and creating teas, and then I think there's one other person in the back, so there's 4 people, and this 4th person is cutting lemons and limes. So like it takes a long time for them to make tea, and I think that's part of the problem as to why this is so long. And like when we ordered it, they didn't tell us about Jeffrey. They didn't tell us anything about him. And so as I'm waiting for my food, or my drink, excuse me, I was just sitting there and I was like, huh, everyone's getting these cute little whales. I hope that I spent enough to get a whale. And so I was just sitting there anxiously, like, am I gonna get a whale? I want a whale. I want a green whale, not a yellow whale. Or like, I want a whale. Words are hard. I want a whale with a green top, not a yellow top. And so I was just standing there very like, oh, where's my whale? I think other people were also getting other stuff, but I think it was part of their soft opening. So we were like 5th or 6th in line, and I just saw the whale, and I just kept staring at them. And so they served us our drink, and they gave us the whale, and I stared at the whale for like a hot second. I'm like, this is Jeffrey. And then Jeffrey became my best friend, and Jeffrey went everywhere with me. I unfortunately could not bring Jeffrey to conferencing because Jeffrey actually squeaks. You can listen to the sounds of Jeffrey. Hold on. I put Jeffrey in my backpack on the airplane, and I got him out, and I think I kicked my backpack, and all you heard was a So I had to be really careful. I couldn't bring Jeffrey to sessions because like, what if I put my backpack down and then it's just like, or like if I'm going through my backpack and someone's presenting, you just hear. It's like no, no, I can't do that. I can't just carry this whale around. So what I do on the trip though, like when we were out of conferences, I just like reach my hand into my pocket and then like I just squeeze stuff and then like a couple of times and so I'd be at the cash register and I'd be looking for my money and then I just hear it. Oh man. So Jeffrey wasn't able to go everywhere with me, but I took Jeffrey to as many places that I could. And so Jeffrey's just gonna live on my head for on my whole game for the rest of the stream. Oh gosh. But yes, that is how Jeffrey came to be. Jeffrey, okay. The tea in general was super pulpy. Like this is extra pulpy tea. I got because I wanted to make sure I could get my pooping schedule back on track, I was like, I'm going to get the Yakult tea. Because little do you know, Yakult is actually a probiotic and helps with your digestive tract. And so I was like, if I get lemons, lime, and Yakult tea, that means my schedule should be fixed at some point. So the tea was mediocre. Okay. The flavor of the tea was good. The texture was far too pulpy. Like when I got to the bottom of my tea, instead of drinking, I didn't get any boba or pearls. I just sucked up a ton of pulp. And it wasn't just pulp. It was like the skins of the lemons and the lime. And so what I will say is it was very nutritious. Very nutritious. And I think if I was more accustomed to and if I had an expectation I was getting a lot of pulp, I think I would have been fine with it. But as I was drinking, I was like, that's a lot of pulp. Oh gosh. And so what I say about my beverage was I paid for Jeffrey. But I will say it is good. Like it is very, very good. I think once they get the pulp thing worked out, it should be a really, really tasty beverage. Also, hello, Annie. Yeah, because I think it can work. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just like America or the United States. I don't want that. Because like clearly this place is busy. Like it's popping. People are very excited about it. And so like it just wasn't, I don't think it was what I was expecting, but it's still very, very good and would highly recommend at least giving it a try. If not, go get your own Jeffrey because Jeffrey's freaking adorable. Okay. That is where Jeffrey came from. So the next day, I woke up at like 5:30 every morning before conferences. And I was like, what am I going to do? So one day I thought there was a Chinese restaurant open. And it wasn't. They lied on their sign. Their sign said they were open at 7 a.m. I walked over at 7 a.m. You know what they didn't have? Soup. I wanted soup for breakfast. Not this freaking big brekkie burger, but you know the only place open at 7 a.m.? I'm sorry, Macca's. Macca's is open. So also the weird thing with the McDonald's, they don't have doors. Most of the Macca's that I saw had like plastic drape things. Like, where's your door? Like, why don't you have a door? So, I mean, like, the urban Maccas didn't have doors. Maybe it's just, like, an urban Maccas thing. But, yeah, they didn't have doors. I should have taken a picture of it. And so, I was like, maybe there's something special about the McDonald's here. So, I looked at their rotating menu, and I was like, oh, what is a big brekkie burger? Do we have such big brekkie burgers? And so, I then proceeded to look up, okay, big brekkie burger, United States. And they did not, the United States used to have something called a big breakfast burger, but they discontinued it. And so I was like, this is unique to Australia. Oh my God. So I proceeded to order a big brekkie burger. And I also was like, I might as well get some banana bread. They also gave me butter with it. Like, I don't feel the need to get butter. Like, is banana bread. Yeah, also, the no doors thing was new to me. Like, the first one I walked into, I was like, oh, maybe it's just, like, Melbourne. But then, when I was in Sydney, the McDonald's also didn't have doors. So, like, where's your door? So, yeah, the Big Brekkie Burger consists of a hash brown. It has 2 patties in there. There's this patty here and this patty here. And these patties are 100% Australian beef. And then there's an egg, there's bacon, and then there's ham. Like this thing is basically a normal plate of breakfast food shoved into a sandwich. And it was filling. It was an experience. It's a good burger. Good burger. As much as I'd like to get that more than once, I don't think it is good for my arteries. That's a lot of burger there. That's a lot of meat in there. And there's also no vegetables. Like, what about my vegetables? What about my fiber? Also, Isaac, did other fast food places have no doors? No, it was just McDonald's. I don't know why it was just Macca's that didn't have a door. It was, I don't know why. I should have just asked the cashier. Yeah, I should have just asked the cashier. I don't know why there wasn't a door. But the banana bread was also very good. It had some chocolate chips in it. And tastes like banana bread. I don't know if we can get banana bread at our McDonald's here. Like, truly, the only time I get McDonald's is not in the United States. Any other country, sure, we'll go for McDonald's. Just not in the United States. The only time I've gone to my McDonald's was to order chicken nuggets for a McNugget challenge. And I haven't gone back, and they also judged me real hard. I remember ordering... Okay, so the McNugget challenge was I biked to McDonald's because I was doing a McNugget challenge. I'm like, I gotta get my hunger up. So I came in with my bike, and I walked up to the front, and there was like a line of people, and I was like, I'd like to order 60 McNuggets. And then, I'm sorry, I told them specifically, I'd like to order 3 sets of 20 McNuggets. And then they were like, okay, so you want 5 McNuggets? And I was like, no, I want 3 sets of 20 McNuggets, 60 McNuggets in total. And they just kind of stared at me, like, and I was like, yes. And then after that, the lady behind me was ordering, and she was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna be ordering 60 McNuggets. I'm like, ma'am, that was not necessary. Anyhow, the only time I've gone to my McDonald's is when I ordered 65 McNuggets. Okay, they gave me 5 McNuggets, and then they gave me 60 McNuggets, so I got 65 McNuggets. And that's the only time I've been to my McDonald's. And that is the last time I've been to my McDonald's. And now I measure things in, I can now measure my fullness in number of nuggets. So, yeah. If I'm like at 65 McNuggets full, that's a really good, that's a full kind of place. If I'm like 20 McNuggets, that's like okay. But god dang, that's the last time I was at a McDonald's. And maybe that's the reason why. Yeah, I also, the other thing was like, I brought my bike in, and so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna put this in my bike basket and bike back. So I just biked back with 65 McNuggets in my cart, not my cart, and my little basket. You know, totally normal day. Don't judge me. Moving on. Brekkie Burger, delicious. Hello, Rabbit. Great to be back. Okay, so one day of the conference, we have a fancy meal. And so the fancy meal was at the Melbourne Aquarium. And so you could take the tram, or you could walk. And I chose to walk because I like walking around cities. You know, cities are built to be walkable. And so I also love going to grocery stores, but also look, it is packaged yogurt. What is this? Tell me, what is this packaged yogurt? Like, why is it like this? I love Chobani yogurt, but like, if I could drink my Chobani yogurt like this, I would absolutely do that. Tell me, why Australia do you have this? In America, the United States, where is our packaged yogurt? I want my goddamn. I need to click out. I want my goddamn packaged yogurt. How dare you refresh on me while I'm talking about packaged yogurt? I will fight you. Goddamn packaged yogurt. Where is it? I want it. I want it so bad. I did not buy any of the packaged yogurt because it's Chobani, and also once I got it into my, like, what would I do with it? Although I'll say, I did bring many Australian alcoholic beverages back with me. Probably far too, okay, actually not that many. I bought beverages back though. This is also where I found the Hungry Jacks. Okay, Go-Gurt is not like, that's a tube. Like, I want a pouch. The tube makes me feel like I'm like in elementary school again. I've seen applesauce packaged. Yeah, see applesauce, but not like this. And like the Go-Gurt, if I am an academic walking on campus, if you see me eating in my office and I'm just sitting there with a Go-Gurt tube, that has a very different vibe. That's like, I'm like elementary school, you know, we're going, it's lunchtime, friends. Let's go get our food together. Let me pull out my Go-Gurt. Wow, friends, this tastes delicious. No, I want to strike fear. Okay, I don't want to strike fear into my students' hearts. But still, I would rather drink out of the Chobani Greek yogurt vanilla that feels like an adult versus freaking Go-Gurt packaging. Also, have fun, Sylvia. Oh, yes, go get your lunch. Yeah, I want this really bad. We'll just leave that there. I went to the Melbourne arcade. It had a bunch of fancy stores in it. Like, when I say fancy stores, these are the places that I'm not going to go to ever, because they're like exclusive brands. So, but look, they had some cool architecture. Anyhow, I mean, if you want to strike fear, Go-Gurt will do that. You know what? Frozen Go-Gurt will strike fear, because those things can do damage. Like frozen Go-Gurt. Anyhow, I also saw the Hungry Jack here. I did not include a picture of my Hungry Jack Brekkie burger because I got it at the airport and it doesn't look that great. Like, the McDonald's Brekkie burger looks a lot better than the Hungry Jack's Brekkie burger. And I don't know if that's because I got it at the airport, but it was also overpriced at the airport. Okay, so what we did on the last day, or at the dinner at the aquarium, I got caught in a long conversation with some other academic folks because they wanted to ask me questions about stuff. And so I didn't get to take any cool pictures of the aquarium, but I got a picture of this crocodile. This crocodile is alive. It was chilling, literally just chilling there. Like, wow, man, I'm gonna sit here and intimidate you all. It's a cool crocodile though. And then at the aquarium, they did not serve fish because it would make us sad. But they served lamb. So I got like fancy lamb and tomatoes. This was fancy. Although I will say I did not like the quality of the meat. Yeah, it was, I don't know, it was okay. I don't know. I'm still trying to decide if I liked it or not. But the dessert was also pretty good. I had some good times with people, had some good chats. But yeah, that's where my conference registration money went to. Getting fancy aquarium lamb. And I god dang hope my registration money went to good use. Yeah. Registration money, I need to get reimbursed. But over here is a video of the Melbourne skyline. So as you can see, it's like right along the river, like some really nice buildings. There's one really interesting building here. Not toilet ratings, not toilet ratings. No, the spoilers! Spoilers! Okay, this one right here, this building has like a weird thing sticking out of it. I don't know what it is. I never got to that side of Melbourne. But I would like to go into that building. My guess is just like residential housing. But that seems like expensive residential housing. Moving on. So this is the first day where I fully had Jeffrey with me. So Jeffrey did not come to the aquarium with me because, quite frankly, I don't think it looks very good if I sat there and took pictures with the rubber whale to the other academics. They'd be like, what is this kid doing with the rubber whale taking pictures of fish? You know what? Maybe I should have just done that. Been just like, screw you. I'm just gonna take pictures of my whale. Yeah, so the next day I went to the Honest League of Coffee, and the reason why I went to the coffee shop is, one, I needed coffee, but two, Melbourne is apparently very well known for their coffee, and so I did not get to bring any coffee back this time, but this is the first day where you all got to like meet Jeffrey, and this is where we got the fan art of Jeffrey. Thank you. Thank you, Barry. And so I took some pictures, and I was taking pictures when our toasty came over, and the guy who was delivering the toasty was like, it's a cute whale, and I'm like, thanks. And you know, yes, I also don't want sharks to eat him. Assert dominance with whale pics. You know what? Next time I'm going on a conference and I have Jeffrey with me, Yeah, okay, one. So now Jeffrey will be a permanent staple of my travels. Jeffrey will be coming to me on my next trips. So my next trip is going to London because one of my close friends is graduating. So I'll be going to London, and I think we're going to Iceland after that as well. So I will bring Jeffrey with me to Iceland. I will go hiking with Jeffrey. But yes, Melbourne's very well known for their coffee, and it was really good coffee. And also, this is a toasty. The toasty has 2 tiny pickles. They're the cutest pickles in the world. And so these toasties I thought were smaller. So when I first bought it, I was like, that's not a lot of toasty for a lot of price. And then they gave me the toasty, and I was like, that's a lot of toasty. So we got toasty now. This was a ham tomato cheese toasty, I think. And then the coffee was, I think it was a macchiato. But like you can see the top here is really, really pretty. A little pricey for breakfast, but like it is breakfast. Oh my God. Jeffrey's bodyguard, thank you for the $10 grant money. Thank you for the dough. I will make sure that nothing bad happens to Jeffrey. And yes, I will be visiting London for a bit, but my schedule is a bit packed, so unfortunately I won't be able to meet with folks. But yes, I'll be going to the land of London. I will be going to like old London institutions, UK institutions. But also, I don't know who you are, Jeffrey's bodyguard, but yeah. Oh my God. At least I know that works, but oh my God, I need to turn that down a lot. Oh God. Oh God. I remember recording that. That was fun. Could you repeat that? Thank you for Jeffrey's bodyguard for the $10. I'll make sure we get like, I'll have to crochet Jeffrey like a vest or something. I should crochet Jeffrey a vest. That's what I should do on my stream. I'll crochet Jeffrey a tiny little, like a little neck warmer. Oh man, that's what I'll do before I go to the UK. I've wanted to do a crocheting stream for a long time, and I just haven't been able to do that. So we will do a Jeffrey like scarf knitting stream, or maybe I'll just like knit like all my plushie scarves or something. But yes, that's a toasty. And so for dinner that day, we found a place called Depenyats. I think it's like a Malaysian chain. I have never seen one of these places. So Depenyats is like, they sold a lot of things. They sold like actual entrees. So this is like a noodle dish with chicken skewers, and then we also got like actual fried chicken with salad. It was really good. I was surprised it was so empty, but yeah, is this Filipino or Malaysian? Let me double check. Hold up. Let me see what this is. Depenyats chain. Oopsies, I can spell. Depenyats. Restaurant. Depenyats is... Don't estimate my location. I want you to know nothing. Okay, fine. Estimate it. No, you know what? Okay, we're not doing that. So, anyhow, it's a either Malaysian or Filipino chain, and we got chicken and skewers. It was really good. I've never seen this chain ever in the United States, so I was like, this is really, really interesting. I think more than likely, it's probably a Malaysian chain than Filipino. The last place that I went to was a place called Toppings and Tea. So if you've ever gone to like the froyo places that have a selection of like, you know, toppings and ice creams, Toppings and Tea is apparently Australia's first do-it-yourself boba store. So you basically just pick a cup size. So we got the small size for like $5, and then they had like a medium and a large size, and you just fill the cup with whatever. So you can get like boba, you can get tapioca, or sorry, boba, coconut, like popping pearls, whatever kind of pearls you like, whatever mix you want. And then they had a whole selection of teas on the side that you could also pick from. So they had like classic milk tea, they had Thai milk tea, they had like coffee, they had tea, black tea, green tea, basically lemon. I think lemonade was an option. And then you just pay for the cup, you put all whatever you want in, and then they seal it up for you. Like, it's a very interesting concept. And I don't think I'll see this here in the United States. The only downside to this is that the teas are not incredibly fresh, but I think conceptually, if you can work out some of those pieces and like get it to be a really fresh tea, or like you're not brewing it for too long, I think this could work really well. It did work really well for this place, and the tea, like, recognizing that like I'm not getting I'm here for like being for customizability, I thought this was really, really cool. Yeah. And like, again, cause I will do a boba rating tier at one point, but like, I was very much spoiled in Australia with really good boba, like good teas, good beverages in general that weren't Starbucks. And like, even this boba, I think, is still much better than a lot of some of the other boba chains around here. So would highly recommend toppings and tea. It was really good, and if you're ever in Melbourne, I'd stop by. Oh, okay, so what we did, because I couldn't eat this for dinner, I was quite full. We got like a kimbap place. So if you're not familiar with kimbap, I don't like describing it as Korean sushi, but like the concept of food rolled in rice and seaweed is what it is. It's not like sushi, because most of the time the ingredients in there are cooked. But I'd never seen, like, aside from like some small laundromats that I've been to, I've never seen a place that just focuses and sells themselves on kimbap. And so please do check out Chango Mama's Kimbap. If they need a VTuber, they can please sponsor me. But I thought this was really, really good. They had some really interesting flavors, such as cheese kimbap. And so the cheese kimbap, like, okay, the reason why I got the cheese kimbap was because I'm pretty sure no one else here is going to make me a cheese kimbap. I can make kimbap. It is not difficult. What's difficult about making kimbap is getting all the seasonings exactly right. And the rolling part is not bad. Like, you can do it. Like, I used to make, I did make cheese kimbap. I did like spicy kimchi bokkeumbap, and then I'd put in spam, and I'd put in cheese. Yeah, and I'd roll it all together, which they didn't do that with their cheese. They just did cheese with a mix of, I think they put spam in there. It looks like a cabbage, egg, and carrots might be in there. So it was good. I enjoyed the cheese. I wish I had eaten it fresh so I could get like the melty cheese. The melty cheese is where it's at. But it was still very, very good. And they also had like ramyuns and stuff, but they had this really cool machine in there. Okay, look, cutting kimbap is really hard. You need to have a really good knife to get a good cut on kimbap. But they had a machine that they just stuck the rolls in, and then the kimbap would like and rise up, and then they'd just be cut into like beautiful. Okay, actually they weren't perfect slices because my kimbap got stuck to each other, but it was still cleaner slices than I would have gotten. So kimbap was also eaten the next day, but it was still good. Would recommend kimbap, Chango Mama's Kimbap. Okay, so in Melbourne, there's a place called Queen Victoria's Market. And so Queen Victoria's Market is made up of a fish market, just a normal market, and then an outdoor market. Yeah, kimbap is delicious. Like, would recommend. If I ever meet you, maybe I'll just like pass out kimbap rolls. That'll be my business card. Here's kimbap. But anyways, so Melbourne has this place called the Queen Victoria Market. So if you've ever gone to like Philadelphia's what market? Reading Terminal, or New York. What's the equivalent in like New York? It's like an open air market basically. And so they sold like tons of good stuff. Also, Laszlo, Victoria Market is great. I did not. So when we went, I went like towards the end of the day the first time, and I was like, oh, there's not much. Hi, SD. Hello. So yeah, we went there, and I first went to the fish section. I was like, oh, we're just gonna look at fish. I mean, I love fish. The Zhuni Excel family. While I am an academic, my family is restaurant people, and so particularly though, the fish restaurant people. Both the Zhuni Excel family parentals, both fish people, very much fishy people, like in the most non-sus way. So like the Zhuni Excel parentals have taught Zhuni how to find good fish. Does Zhuni get good fish? No, not at all. Zhuni just buys whatever's cheap at the market. You know, money is money. But you know, I don't mind looking at fish. So yeah, I was like, cool, fish. And so then we went to this side, and I was like, cool, food. Also, high reuse. Yeah, we did not go to the fish market. No, we would never do that to you, Ryus. We would not look at your kind and consume them. We haven't even talked about the other fish market yet. But I would never. I am a friend of the people of the sea. See, I have Jeffrey. Jeffrey is a lemon whale. So pretending we didn't go to the fish market. Look, I have bread. Look at all this bread. And look at these candied fruits. Yeah? Yeah. Look, also that bread. They had lobster roll toasties. Oh my god. The lobster roll toasties were like 20 bucks. And I was like, I really want a lobster roll toasty, but also I like my wallet. Oh, nice sticky rice with red chicken and sushi. That sounds like a good time. Good time. But like basically the Victoria market was just, the indoor portion had just tons of food lined up. Lots of good foods. I didn't buy any. But the outdoor market is where the good stuff is. So the outdoor market, some of it has just a bunch of grocery store food. So I got really excited to just see avocados, honey. Okay, one of my favorite things to buy when I'm overseas or like in other countries is to buy their honey, because our honey is different from their honey. Yeah, honey is good. And so I like their honey. And then like they had just like some random like stalls of like souvenirs and stuff. But also in this bottom corner, those are ostrich eggs. They sold empty ostrich eggs, and they sold eating ostrich eggs. And look, I put a Jeffrey there for context. Okay, that is a Jeffrey. Those eggs are like 5 Jeffrey big. 4 Jeffreys big. That is a big egg. And I don't know what you're gonna do with an empty egg. Like, throw it at, like, I don't know. I feel like if someone threw an ostrich egg at me, I would be flattered. That thing might knock me out. But for someone to waste $60 to throw something at me, that's commitment. I respect it. I respect it. So you know what? If you're gonna throw any type of egg at me, if I've done something horribly wrong and you want to cancel me and you feel that you need to toss something at me, toss an ostrich egg. That is 60 AUD, which is probably, I don't know how much it is. Hey Google, how much is 60 AUD to US dollars? Okay, that's like tossing $50 at me, which I'll take it, you know? 50 bucks is 50 bucks. Maybe it's in the form of an ostrich egg, but if it hits me and I can catch it and save it, I got 50 bucks. Look, we don't get that much grant money, and I'll take whatever grant money we can get. So yes, that is an ostrich egg. Big egg. Like that'd be a delicious omelet. That's an expensive omelet. I want to try that omelet. I have duck eggs. Okay, that's fair. I mean, also maybe don't tell the duck eggs. You know. Oh, okay. The next place that I went to the State Library of Victoria. This is basically Melbourne's one of their main libraries. But the library, okay, remember when I talked about that one library that I strongly disliked in that one country? I don't remember what it is. whatever it was, that was a terrible library because I couldn't actually go in. This is an actual functional library that's in use, and it's like, if academia doesn't work out, I want to be a librarian. And so what I have here is a picture of like the front view of the library, and this is actually built with Lego minifigures and Legos. So I didn't take a video of like the whole thing around it, but this is a scaled model of the State Library of Victoria. And so you can see like over here is like the insides of all the rooms that they have, and they also have this beautiful atrium, or not atrium, but like this open ceiling where you can just like feel the space. Also, they had a store, and Goodbye Airy was being sold at the store. I was like, I recognize that drawing style. And so I started reading some of it, and I was like, this thematically lines up with Chainsaw Man. And then I read the inside cover, and I was like, oh, that's Chainsaw Man. So all this to say, I need to buy this book at some point and read it. Yep. So it very much has his flair to it, and definitely need to take a read to it, because I read like maybe like the first chapter, and it was expensive. It was spicy. But let me show you a video of the library. So this is the interior of the library. Basically, the 3rd and the 4th floor are not for studying, but they have like museum exhibits. So over here is one of the signs for the exhibits for exploring the world, and this was like a history of literature and books and bookkeeping. And so they had like old Egyptian scrolls, they had like a bunch of stuff that like just talked about like, you know, books. And so I thought it was appropriate that I took a picture with Jeffrey exploring the world, because Jeffrey's exploring the world with me. But here, let me just play the full video of the space. This is just one of their rooms. Like, that's a lot of space. And as you can see, it's also functional. Oh, let me scroll down more. Do you see this little? Okay, down here, there's a little circle at the middle of all of this. According to the Lego model said that in the middle of this little circle is the person called the shusher. And so way back when, there used to be 2 people who would sit in the circle and shush people. So if they were talking and they were too loud, they would glare at you and go, shh, and then they'd stop. Yeah, so I really enjoyed the library a lot. It was very cool, and they also had a very cool bookstore. Maybe I should have just bought Goodbye Airy while I was there, but I think I was gonna buy it as a digital book, because my bookshelf is getting really full. My bookshelf is very full. I have a lot of books. Because academia, like, it's really just because academia. Like, none of the books that I have are like fun manga. I mean, I have like the Avatar The Last Airbender like collector's editions, but I probably, okay, my goal one day, like if I ever get my own office in academia, I want my whole bookshelf to just be one piece. I want my students to know when they walk into my office, I love One Piece a lot. And of course I'll have other books there too, but it's just gonna be One Piece. But yeah, I don't have a lot of book space left, so I gotta buy digital books. But I really want Goodbye Airy. It was really good when I started reading, and I just need to finish it up. I went to the Lego store. Okay, so Australia is getting the largest, will be receiving the largest Lego store in Sydney. And so I was like, I should go to the Lego stores while I'm in Melbourne. I was also trying to find like the specific Lego Australia set, Lego Architecture Australia sets, because I know that there used to be a Sydney set that was in like 2016, but it's now retired. But I saw that like New York's Lego store sells the New York architecture set, and I was like, maybe like since we're in Australia, they'll sell like the specific city Lego set. And I can tell you, it does not at all. But they have these cool Lego designs. So I saw this Lego store in a mall. It's like on the 3rd floor of the mall. Oh, it's Melbourne Central Station. That's where it is. And so these Lego, not sets, these Lego these Lego. We're just gonna leave it at these Lego. These are like life size. So if I was standing next to it, that trolley would be bigger than me. And this Lego man is probably slightly shorter than me. But these were massive. I should have taken a Jeffrey for reference, but these are massive is all I'm saying. These are huge, and it was really cool. But I also didn't get my Lego set. Like whenever I travel to a country, when I travel to a city and they have a Lego architecture set available, I try to buy it, so I can build it and be like, I went here. So it's not just like, oh, I have this Lego set for the sake of having it, but like there's a story. I can say I've been to this building, this building, this building. So like when I was in Dubai, we had the Lego Dubai. I had the Lego Dubai Lego set, and I can be like, oh, I've been to this building, I've been to that building, I've seen that building. I also have like Buckingham Palace, because I've been to Buckingham Palace. I have the Lego UN since I've been to the United Nations. So I really wanted like the Lego Sydney or like something with Melbourne to say like, oh, I can talk about some of the things that I've seen. But they don't have that in Australia because these Lego stores sell the same things that the other Lego stores in the United States sell. They're the same things, nothing different. It's fine. I'm not upset. But I got a cool Lego passport. So if you're not aware, Lego stores will give people, not children, little passports. And so if you go into Lego stores and ask for a stamp, they'll stamp where you've been. So I have a Lego passport stamp from Melbourne and Sydney now. And so now I have to go back to all the places that I've been to and get a new passport stamp. So I gotta go back and find Lego stores now. Yeah. When I go back to London, I gotta find a Lego store. Or like when I go back to Denmark or like Taiwan or something, I gotta get more stamps. It doesn't even matter. It truly doesn't matter. But I want them. So, yeah. The Lego stores has cool stamps, but they didn't sell the freaking Lego sets. You know, I do know that there is a Lego Sydney Opera House. I think it's from the creator sets, but that thing's like $600. Yeah. And then at some point I want to go to Paris, and then I can get the Lego Eiffel Tower, but also the Lego Eiffel Tower is like $700, and I have no idea where I'm going to put that in my house. I can't even fit books. Like, where's an Eiffel Tower? Where's the Sydney Opera House going to go in my house? Like, I have a tiny space. I have no idea where that's going. So I gotta figure that out. That's why we just stick with the skylines and the architecture sets. Moving on! I found a Uyghur restaurant. And so Uyghurs are an ethnic minority in China. Yes. And so I haven't tried Uyghur food. And so I also want a Lego Harry Potter set. I want a lot more Legos, but I have to spend my money carefully because I'm a responsible adult. I cannot just buy Lego sets or games like Pikmin 1 and 2. But anyhow, we digress. Deep breath, Zhuni. I got Uyghur food, and so this was like a noodle with a beef. It was really good. I think these were also hand-pulled noodles because they weren't they weren't consistent, but they were good. They were very bouncy noodles. Like, oh, this was spicy too. This was spicy. It was a bouncy, spicy noodle. Also, hello, Click Killers. We were just going through my Australia trip. We're still in Melbourne and looking at the food and complaining about the Lego store and how they didn't sell Lego Melbourne or Lego Sydney things or Australia things. And now we're talking about the food that I ate. And also, this is Jeffrey above me. Jeffrey's wonderful. Jeffrey will fight you. I'm good, Martin. I'm good. I just wish I had more Lego sets to build. And this is a meat pie. It's more like, yeah, it was crispy and fluffy, and then there was meat on the inside, and it was delicious. It was a bit pricey though. So after conferencing was over, I really enjoy going out into the wilderness and touching grass. Despite being a VTuber, I do touch grass frequently. As you all know, I do a lot of cycling. I like touching grass. Grass is our friend. So I took this train where you can basically like sit on the train and stick your legs out and stick your arms out. It was raining that day and it was kind of disgusting, but as you can see, it's kind of disgusting. It's raining. outside and it's really windy and cold, and I didn't bring the appropriate jacket. But this is like a small train that goes through like some of, I don't know where it went, but it was cool. And they also sold a ticket for a Thomas the Tank Engine train trip, and I was like, I'm an adult. I don't like. I love Thomas the Tank Engine. Classic Thomas the Tank Engine. The ba 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 ba. Okay, anyways, I like Thomas the Tank Engine, but I didn't buy. Okay, I was not there on the right days to book the Thomas the Tank Engine trip, so we got on this train instead, which is fine. But I got to see the Thomas the Tank Engine thing, and I saw the Thomas the Tank Engine, and I'm pretty sure this is the fake Thomas the Tank Engine. Like, look at the fakeness of this Thomas the Tank Engine. Where's his face? That's not Thomas's face. That's a fake Thomas. You know, I wasn't expecting them to have a real-life animatronic Thomas the Tank Engine. Also, have a wonderful time in math, Sylvia. You're gonna do great. Do your best in math. Pay attention. So anyways, yeah, I saw fake Thomas the Tank Engine. We had this engine, and also, of course, I had to take a picture of the train and toilets. Two of my favorite things in life: trains and toilets, all in one sign. It was a sign that I was in the right place. But also on this going to touch grass, we got to see some of the almost world's tallest trees right behind the redwood trees. And so I've included a picture of Jeffrey in the tree because Jeffrey's cute, and I don't know, it just seemed like a nice backdrop. Also, I tried to take pictures of Jeffrey like on the train, but I was very afraid Jeffrey was gonna fly off the train and I was never gonna see Jeffrey again. Yeah, I didn't want to lose Jeffrey, so Jeffrey did not get to take a picture on the train because Jeffrey probably would have flown away. He's tried to escape multiple times. So because it was raining, we were supposed to go to a nature sanctuary, but we took a detour to go to something called the Beechworth Bakery. So for those of you who are familiar with like a Panera Bread, or for people from St. Louis would call it Breadco, I found like the equivalent of Panera, which is Beechworth Bakery. Yeah, it had very much Panera vibes to me, but it wasn't Panera or / Breadco. But they sold bakeries and pies, and I got a meat pie. It had like bacon and cheese and eggs, and it was a pie, and it was good. They also sold a donut, a custard donut. It was so fluffy. I don't really call it a donut. It was more like a profiterole, with like donut shaped. And then I guess there's this thing that's unique to Australia called a lamington, and this was so goddamn fluffy. It was ridiculous. Like, it was like a fluffy sponge cake with coconut shreds, and it looks like it's chocolate, but it's not. And it was so fluffy. I really should have bought like 10 of these and brought them back with me, but they probably wouldn't have been soft and fluffy. It was amazing. I want more lamingtons. Yeah. I love lamingtons. It was good. And so we didn't have too much time in the place, but you know, we got enough time to see lamingtons. It was delicious. Oh, price was okay too. Price was okay. Yes. So, okay, this is the Healesville Sanctuary. Over here, this is a baby emu. It was so cute. Like, it was just running around like, woo! Lamingtons are great. Even the store-bought ones are all right. I don't know why we don't have these things in the States. It was delicious. But yes, we saw a baby emu. I have no idea what this animal is. I just know it comes out at night and it's real cute. It was very cute. I mean, look at it. Just chilling in the dark. Me. We also saw drop bears, also known as koalas. Here's a koala. It's chilling. It's truly just like, I want nothing to do with you people. It stayed like that for at least 5 minutes or longer. These are not baby kangaroos. These are like full-size kangaroos. They're just tiny. There's also like gray kangaroos, and since it was raining, they just stared at us like eating their food, and for lack of better term, it was just like, fuck you. Like, what are you doing? Let me live my life. I'm like, you're valid. I will not take that many pictures of you. Yeah, these kangaroos are just chilling. You know, they're living their best life. Chilling. And then, these are pelicans. I did not take a reference picture with Jeffrey, but those things are huge. Like, it was feeding time for them, and oh my god, their mouths are freaking ginormous. Like, I don't know what to use as reference or scale, but like when you see them in Finding Nemo, like they are actually that big. They're terrifying. Like if one of these birds charged at me, I would run. I would not try to fight that thing. Like, one, their beak is long, and two, they go fast. I'm not trying to get into a fight with that. So anyways, yeah, saw cute animals. Oh yeah, there was also an echidna. They truly would eat me. My head could fit in there. Like that bottom weird chin thing, that thing extends real far. Yeah, it's scary. Don't mess with them. They seem nice though. Yeah, during feeding time they seem nice. Oh, and then my favorite thing that I saw at the Healesville Sanctuary was this sign of Crap Man saving wildlife, one toilet at a time. I have no idea why this was there, but when I saw it, I was like, I'm really enjoying the vibe of Australia. Like, I think they get me. Like, the Melbourne Museum had an old toilet there. They also had like a book selling you like how to, like, what is poo. I also went to another space where they sold, the toilets and train sign. And then the sanctuary has Crap Man saving wildlife one toilet at a time. Like, I think Melbourne, Australia, these are my people. These people understand poo. These people save wildlife with poo and biodegradable toilet paper. You know the kinds of toilet paper that they had at the at my hotel? It was called Who Gives a Crap. You know what they had as their ads in the mall? Who gives a crap? Australia understands me and my fascination with defecation and poo. America just doesn't appreciate and understand me. No. This is beautiful. We're just gonna take a moment and appreciate Crap Man. You know, I could fit into that. I could absolutely be Crap Man. Like, I have abs. You know what? You could easily, you know what? Let me, I can't put my face, if I Photoshop, you know what? I'm gonna Photoshop my face in there later. Yeah, I can. Anyways, the sanctuary was fun. I got to touch grass and look at animals. And then after that, I went to a Korean barbecue. That's such a bad transition. I shouldn't have done that. It was the Korean barbecue had a happy hour from 5 to 5:30 where it was cheaper. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I wanted my Korean barbecue with Australian beef. It was so good. I have no regrets. No regrets. As you can see, I ate a lot of meat, and I think there's not much else to say after that. And then I found Royal Custard Puffs. It was very tasty. The Royal Custard Puffs, this is how they made it. There's just one guy with custard puffs. He's chilling. He's living his best life. Don't call me a terrible human being. We're moving on from this slide. Did I skip? Oh, no, I didn't. This is, okay. So, ignoring Korean barbecue, ignoring the custard puffs, the next day was my last day in Melbourne. And so I got up early and went back to the Queen Victoria Market. And on the way to Queen Victoria, or like when I was there, I found some cool stuff. So all the recommendations for like what to eat at Queen Victoria Market was get these American donuts. And these American donuts were amazing. They had jelly or custard filled, and they tricked us. They said you could get 5 for $10. And I was like, wow, this seems like a great deal. And then I ate 2 of them, and I was like, oh my god, I am very, very full. I cannot eat 5 of those. That's a lot of donut. So anyways, I had donut. Yes, but this is where Frog Hat Bro is. And so those donuts, if you do go, would recommend. They're basically powdered sugar. They have sugar on top of the crispy donut, and the inside's fluffy, and then they stick jelly in it. It's so good. Would recommend. I got to experience I got to experience Isla's Dutch pancakes, and I will say they were okay. I told Ayla after this, but I got like lemon on it, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I was like, what? I thought fruit things were like Dutch, and apparently they're not. But yeah, they're like American pancakes can be okay. I've only had one really good American pancake, and that was in Canada. I think I spoke about this during like my Europe trip. But the Dutch pancakes, like they're really fluffy. They're fluffy and small, and the powdered sugar was really good, and I would definitely eat it again. Like, it's like if you put pancakes into like small like you put basically if you had pancakes in a bag of chips. So Bra Corruption, have you met any Australian VTubers yet? I've met a handful of them. I know of some. So I spoke with some of them. I spoke with one of them while I was over here. Not like IRL, but like I'm not that close to them. Like I can casually be like, I love your country. So but yeah, like I really loved everything. Like, okay, what I told the guy when I was talking about Dutch pancakes, I was like, yeah, I can't find these pancakes in the United States. And yes, Steven, you heard that correctly. I've had one good American pancake, and that was in Canada. I think some of my best pancake experiences are not in the United States. Like, they're definitely like in Canada or in Central Europe. It's pretty funny. Like basically the most American things that I do are outside the United States, and I think that's what makes it so much better. I remember I watched Captain America, and I think I watched Captain America in the UK. and I also I definitely watched Captain America in the UK. Oh no, I didn't know that, bro. My bad. June, I got a question. The milk in Australia, its flavor is wait, they have different flavored. I didn't get different milk. Oh no, I'm lactose intolerant, so I didn't get any milk, but I should have gotten the milk. I actually don't drink a lot of milk in the United States. I don't actually have milk. I don't drink milk. Huh. I don't drink milk. That's... You think the concept of milk is weird, though? Like, we're gonna digress for a moment, right? Who thought it was a good idea to milk a cow and then say, I'm going to drink that? Just take a moment, right? Let's just think about the origins. The first person who milked a cow and then was like, I'm going to drink that. You know, for any person who sees any other natural beings lactating, like, why do you feel the need to drink that? Like, as like, you know, breastfeeding mothers, fine. But like, there's a point when you stop breastfeeding. For like cows, though, it's just different species. So why? All this to say, in my defense, I had not drinking milk in a long time. I get my calcium from other sources. That's not milk. I get yogurt. I get yogurt, which is a dairy form. You know what? Maybe we should just stop talking about milk. I feel like this is a very dangerous. We're like on the cusp of like some weird conversations. My best guess is the same guy who squeezed the tea, saw it, reminded him what the kids had, and went, "This will nourish me." You know what? I'm gonna take that. Steven. Also, thank you, Jesse. Yeah. Just take a moment. We're gonna move on from the milk conversation. Just one more time, I'm going to reiterate this. Before we normalize that, someone, I don't know if it's a man or a woman or a non-binary person, they squeezed milk out of a cow's teat into a bucket or some kind of contraption, or maybe they didn't. We don't know the origins of milk. I'm not going into the origins of milk. Yep, you know what? That's fair. You need nutrition in whatever way. I'm gonna move on. These donuts were good. The pancakes were good. I get all of my dairy. I get most of my pancakes not in the United States. That person did change the world. They did. They really did. They gave us cheese as well. Anything dairy related. I mean, like, milk is dairy products are a thing like across the world. So I don't think it was one person in one particular country. Like, I feel like it had to have been a thought amongst people across the world. Like, wait. I need to think on this more. I will collaborate. I need to do a collab with someone, like another academic VTuber, about milk. Specifically about milk. I will work on this, because this is not like a one Zhuni project. I have too much biases as of this point about milk, and I need to address them. Yes. Okay. Milk conversation aside, I got Dutch pancakes. I also found this really cool artist in the Queen Victoria market. His name's Marcus Lee, and I was like, whoa, what is this? Basically, Marcus Lee, he sold like laser engraved wood art, and so he had for Zhuni XS. I picked up some, like, for Zhuni XS's birthday. I picked up some laser engraved wood stuff, and so there was like Jujutsu Kaisen art, there was some Totoro art, there was also some like really cool other like pieces of anime art that were there that Marcus was selling. So also I've included Marcus's bio. If he's a 16, okay, first off, the dude is 16, he's a student in Melbourne. Alongside any studies, I run a laser engraving business, creating personalized items for customers. Laser engraving works by okay, he explains all of it, but he does a really good job. And I was really impressed that the 16-year-old had a whole booth selling laser engraved art. He doesn't go to cons yet, but like he had his dad there helping him. Like he had great branding. Would recommend his work a lot. I picked up some other gifts there, but I picked up like a crocheted Totoro, and I picked up a crocheted cinema roll as well for Zhuni XS's birthday. So yeah, I got all my souvenirs and birthday gifts that needed to be done while I was in Australia. But I asked if Marcus sold stuff in the States or like he was shipping things. I don't think he is yet, but please do check him out. I thought his art was a really cool concept. Like when I go to cons, like usually you see like, you know, like your typical fan art, etc., and like good artists, but you don't really see cool mediums like with wood and like laser engraving. You see 3D printing and stuff. So I was like, oh, are you gonna go to any cons and sell stuff? So yeah, do check him out. He's really, really cool. Yeah, I wish you the best of luck, Marcus. Hopefully you can't put my voice to my face. So on that day, I also found a bicycle store, and I picked up bicycling gear for very cheap. Also, these guys at the bike store were like, I don't know if you listen to like, it's still like an old radio show called Car Talk, but the two guys who ran the bicycle store were basically like the two guys in Car Talk. And for some reason, they're like, okay, so I was looking for a cycling jersey, and he pulled this one out from Texas. It said Texas Roadhouse on it. And I was like, look, I found this American one. It's Texas Roadhouse. And I was like, I'm not from that state. But I appreciated it. The dude was also a huge fan of Buc-ee's. And apparently, like, some marketing folks at Buc-ee have come to his store before, and they've sent him a bunch of Buc-ee's merchandise. I also have no idea what Buc-ee's is. I just know there's one in Florida somewhere, and I have no idea. And Ayla, I mentioned Buc-ee's, and Ayla, like, preached the gospel of Buc-ee's. After this, we will go ask Ayla about Buc-ee's. Hopefully she's still streaming. I'm hoping this ends soon. It truly is. It truly is a thought that counts. But yeah, this dude, I bought, like, they were super friendly. I bought a cycling jersey, because like, cycling jerseys, like, if you get them in the States, they're like, a whole kit is like $70. I got a whole kit here for like $30. So anyways, that was cool. And then I saw this store called senpais.jp. Basically, they sold cool anime streetwear. And they also have cool stickers. Maybe not the most appropriate. Like, my travel partner and I went in here, and there were a lot of big anime titties. Yeah, I don't know how else to phrase it. They had a lot of waifus. And, it was like cool anime waifu streetwear, though. Yeah. It was really cool. Like, it made... it... Yeah. Cool anime waifu streetwear. I don't think I'd wear it. I would not. Personally, I would not wear it. But like some of it looks pretty okay. Like, some of it's like more subtle. Like, it's on like the bottom right corner, like on the back of your sweater. And like, it just looks like an anime waifu. Some of them are like, they had a sticker with some boobs on it. I didn't buy it. Let's move on. I think it was a very cool concept, is all I'll say. Yes. So after that, I went to the airport. And yeah, I thought the airport was cool. They had a Lego store in the airport, and this is a portrait of Queen Victoria Market. So since I didn't get a picture of Queen Victoria Market, I was like, oh, this works. So this is a Lego mosaic of Queen Victoria Market at the airport. So they had a Lego store at the airport. Also, holy moly, the airport was like all automated. I was riding the I can't say what franchise I was on, but it was amazing. SD, shh, don't expose me. The airport was super cool. Here's a picture of Jeffrey at the airport. Jeffrey is chilling on the airport tarmac, and Jeffrey's having a wonderful time. That's the top of my poster cap. So yeah, Jeffrey's chilling. There's one of the airplanes. Is that the airplane with the hole in it? No, it's not. So anyways, I flew to Sydney after that. So let me get the picture from the beginning. And I don't even know where I went. I was loitering around Sydney on the first day, and this is my loitering path. But I picked up an eel, and I also got, like, my travel partner got some tonkotsu. So yeah, also what I would say, if you're traveling, if you want to travel on a budget, get a friend, a good travel friend. They can definitely help you offset costs, and know that make sure that you can vibe with them. Also, thank you, Dry Bones. Jeffrey is living his best life. So yes, I loitered around Sydney, and these are like random food court food. This was great food court food. I just walked into the mall and I was like, that looks good. Time to eat. This was near Chinatown as well. So yeah, this is where we went. I took a picture of this boba shop. It's called No Fail. I looked inside of it. I'm pretty sure it closed. So I thought it was funny. No Fail failed. Anyways, I also got Xingfu Tang. Xingfu Tang is a boba chain found in Taiwan. It was the original brown sugar and milk chain. And so basically the key to Xingfu Tang's boba and their drink is they make their boba with a brown sugar mix, and then basically it's like brown sugar infused boba, and then they pour fresh milk into it. And so that's the only things in it, and it makes the drink perfect. There is a Xingfu Tang in Flushing, New York, but the Flushing, New York one doesn't use like soup. Like the milk is Fairlife milk, so it makes it different as like they just buy Fairlife milk and pour it in, versus like using special milk. So I don't think it's the closest experience, but I did get Xingfu Tang and it was still very good here. And then over here is a Machi Machi. What I was told about Machi Machi is this is the brand that quote unquote made J Cho fat. So I was like, look, J Cho's music in the past has been very good. I have opinions on J Cho now. I have opinions about J Cho's music now, but the drink Machi Machi, they had like essentially like a buckwheat green tea sugar drink, and that's what's over there, and it was so good. It was a great drink, very like it wasn't too sweet, and like it was really refreshing. So I haven't seen a Machi Machi in the United States, but I tried to get Machi Machi as much as I could. But over here I've included like the first day of like when I got in, like how far I loitered. So this was probably like a 15-minute walk. This is where I also saw that they had Mario Kart, and I was like, Mario Kart? I didn't play that day. Anyhow, the next day I did a whale watching trip to around the Sydney Sydney Harbour. So this is me with a video of Sydney Harbour, and why? Oh, okay. This is essentially like looking at Sydney Harbour, the Sydney Bay. That's the Sydney Bridge, and it's just really pretty out there. Like you just see the water. I did not take Jeffrey pics with me while I was whale watching because getting to see the whales is hard. So on these trips, they usually guarantee that you see a whale. If not, you can come back at a different time. But on our whale watching trip, we got to follow they refer to the calf and the cow as the whales. And so as we were leaving the bay, someone saw a calf and a cow. And so I have like a bunch of videos just like staring at the water waiting for the whale to breach. But this whale, this is the baby whale. And it was like, woo thing. Getting Jeffrey to line up with one of these is super hard. Like, I'd have to sit there, hold Jeffrey, take a video, and try not to fall off, which was hard enough already. Because, like, the waters were a little, like, the water wasn't incredibly choppy, but it was a little choppy. Like, it was enough where it's like, I should probably focus on trying to get a picture of the whale. The whole video of this is actually, like, 2 minutes of me just standing there, waiting for the whale to come back. But I asked the guide, oh, there's actually dialogue to this. Let me unmute so you can hear what the tour guide is saying, because he's actually saying stuff, and it very Aussie thing, not very Aussie things.
So of course I can take some. Hang on, mate.
I can't hear any of that. That's literally just buzzing. Is that me buzzing, or is that you buzzing?
So of course.
Is it me buzzing or you buzzing? I don't know if it played for you or not. Let me mute this again though, because my audio interface is acting up. I might need to get a new interface soon. So, yeah, that is a whale breaching. That is him talking about the whales. And so one of the questions I asked was like, why do whales breach? Like, what is the biological benefit of tossing yourself into the sky? Like, basically, that just tells me I'm going to get eaten or I'm going to be attacked by something. So the reasons, the guy explains that the reasons are, one, it's to like clean off stuff gets stuck to you. Okay, thank you. So like for whales, like if they're swimming underwater long enough, like little barnacles and stuff attaches them to them. So he basically like does that to get them off. There's also what was the other reason? Oh, what's the other reason? I have no idea what the other reason was. I forgot. But then the last reason was like it's fun. It's just fun to do that. So the whales will just do that because they're bored, you know, like we get bored. That's why we have VTubers. But also I did not go, excuse me, I'm a social media influencer and I am actually a talent with NexStage and I need to get these pictures. So if you don't mind just like moving. Also on this trip, there was a small girl barfing the whole time. I felt bad for her, but she was a trooper. She was a trooper. She did not complain. She did not cry too much. Like if you're barfing on a boat for the whole time, like I think you're entitled to tears. But she was a trooper and I respect her. But when I was trying to take videos, you just hear and I was like, oh man, you can do it, small child. I believe in you. She did her best. And you know what? You don't know you're seasick until you're seasick. What's the phrase? Like, you don't know how to prepare for like a punch in the face until you get punched in the face. Yeah, she was a trooper and I respect her. She did her best. So, oh, that is the small child. Oh man, that is the small child. I think this is also at the end. I'm pretty sure this is at the end where she's like, I'm done. There are a couple of Australian tubers, most of them are underrated. Truly, the Aussie VTubers, like, I need to be friends with all of them. I need to be friends with most of them. But yeah, this is Jeffrey in scale to the city. This is me going to eat at like the food court nearby. I didn't know there was like an Egyptian fast food chain called Bekia. This was really good. It was like a quinoa salad with Egyptian fried rice. Like, that child is so jealous of you, Jeffrey. Oh, I didn't know if Ducky was an Australian. That's so cool. But yeah, anyhow, yeah, eat like an Egypt, like it was an Egyptian fast food chain. I don't know where it came from, but they sold like a chicken kebab and like with hummus and Egyptian fried rice, or Egyptian rice. It was really good. And then I had never heard of this fast food chain Oporto, and I was like, this will be interesting. So I got a chicken sandwich from there. I thought it would actually be a beef burger. And I would say I much preferred the Bekia Egyptian spice fast food chain than Oporto. Like, it was a good chicken sandwich, but like, it wasn't crispy. It was like a grilled chicken. And I think it was good for a grilled chicken sandwich. It was like, overall the food was very good though. Would eat again. And I also came across, okay, this is probably not, for the Australians here, like, I love this beverage. I don't know what this is. This is delicious. I tried to buy like a 16 pack and bring it back with me because we don't have this in the States. This is delicious. It's basically just like, it's lemonade, fizzy lemonade. It's super refreshing is all I'll say. Like, it was a super refreshing drink and I love it. So while I could not bring like a 16 pack with me back, I bought 2 of them and I brought them back with me. So yeah, I'd never seen this chain. It was good. They gave me solo and I think the solo is the win. The Bekia, super delicious. Like, the quinoa salad was something I needed. I needed fiber. I needed so much fiber. And would recommend. I don't remember what food court this was though. It was super tasty and I saw a cockroach. What? Actually, I saw 2 cockroaches. The food court looked really nice and like it looked clean. I don't know where the cockroaches came from. They were just chilling. I didn't bother the cockroach. The cockroach didn't bother me. I'm not gonna say that we were companions, but at the very least, we at least didn't hate each other. So yeah, cockroaches hung out with me and other weird bugs. But it's okay. Food was great. I then did a tour of the Sydney Opera House. I realized I have more pictures of toilets than I do the Opera House. Also, I have a review on the Sydney Opera House toilet. And that toilet gets one of the better reviews. That is all I'll say about that. Sydney Opera House, I didn't get to see any performances in the Opera House, and I'm a little disappointed that I didn't. But the tour, I think, gave me enough information about it. Okay, in my own opinion, I actually think the roof of the Opera House is really ugly. It's all tiled, but it's tiled for a reason. So I think the Opera House is better to look at from afar than close up. But I think the tiled things are still really cool. Now, like on the tour, they gave me the whole history of it, and quite frankly, I've been talking for 2 hours and I don't remember that much of the tour. And so we're gonna move on because I haven't even gotten to all the toilets that I looked at. Moving on, I went to the Art Gallery of New South Wales as well. And to keep it brief, I got to make a clay ball for an interactive exhibit by Kim Suja called Archive of the Mind. Basically, the premise of this exhibit is they give you a chunk of clay and you just need to wrap it and roll it into a ball. And what this is supposed to be is like an exercise of mindfulness, I think. Yeah, an exercise of mindfulness and just letting yourself lose yourself in the process of just making a ball. When I first did this, I was like, this is silly. But I also want to make a clay ball, and this looks fun. And the premise of it is like when you're all done, you just leave the ball, and it creates a larger work of art in the context of everyone who participates. But everyone rolled the ball in, so you didn't really get that. So here is my clay ball over here with a Jeffrey for reference. Now you can also see that in here, there's this lumpy square here. So because the goal of the exhibit was for people to make a ball, there's people who walk around and place how much of a ball the ball is. And so I saw them take the square out and then put it away. I don't know where the square went, but any ball that was not acceptably a ball got put away. Anyways, so that was a really cool exhibit in the New South Wales Art Gallery. And then there's this really cool one of a city. It's made of like ceramics and stuff. Moving on. I went to the fish market. I hope Ryus isn't here. I went to the fish market and I ate a lot of salmon and unagi. Yeah, I had oysters too. It was delicious. And a lobster roll. So over here is one of the places that I went to. They basically sold prawns, shrimp/prawns. These are the lobster rolls, and then they also had the oysters. And so the way that they prep it is they get like the little flamethrower thing, like and then like bake the top of it, and there's a scallop on it. It's so good. It's okay. So it's like a rice with a scallop with cheese, and I don't know what to season the rice with, but and then they like the flamethrower, and it's super tasty. And then this is just salmon and eel. It was so okay. So when I first ate the eel, I was a little confused because like the skin was really thick at the bottom. So I was like, is this how eel's supposed to taste? I think it is because later I have cheap eel and it shows. Yeah. No worries, Isaac. Have a wonderful time. Please do check the VOD out when you can. I'm gonna try to wrap this up soon because I gotta go do other things. We gotta raid Ayla. I'm hoping Ayla's still going because I have this video set to raid Ayla because I was planning to finish before Ayla. Also, this is one of the crabs that they had. I did not ask for this. I was like trying to leave and I was like, oh crap. So I like got my phone out, I was like, and then I took a picture. But that's a crab with someone's hand. I don't know whose hand, not my hand. That's definitely not my hand. And so, yeah, that crab was doing its thing. Yes. Blep. I found Kohl's. I don't know what the supermarket is, but they sell mochi, like just out there to pick. Like pick your own bag of like frozen mochi ice cream. And I was like, God dang, this is delicious. Also, I took a picture of the biodegradable baby wipes because this is such a cute mascot. Like, look at that mascot. He's adorable. He's just chilling. They're just chilling. I want cute. Like, why aren't the US products this cute? Like, that's adorable as a product. Also, I guess it wasn't a 16-pack. I almost tried to buy a 30-pack of Solo. And then I came across this restaurant called Otogo. Like, it kept popping up on my Google Maps. So I'm like, what is this place? And apparently they just sell rice balls. And they have cute little duck as a mascot. And I think that's a little misleading as marketing because they sell duck soup. And I was like, maybe that's not how we want to market our duck. But also, that's just cute marketing. Like, they had little Totoros. I have a picture with Jeffrey and Totoro, but there's someone in the back. and it's kind of annoying. So yeah, the Otogo, they sell rice balls, they sell duck soups, they sell udon soups. Like, they're really well known. It's very cheap as well. Like, I got like a lunch pack for like 10 USD. It was like 13 AUD. It really wasn't bad. It was like a price. And so they had, I got like the eel, I think I might have got eel rice ball or salmon rice ball. What's in here? I don't know. There's like a karaage rice ball as well. I got the salmon filled rice ball. This is a karaage filled rice ball. They also have karaage as well. Yeah, it was super. It was like a very nice aesthetic, very cheap food, super cute. Like, it was awesome. If you do find an Otoko somewhere, I would recommend going to Otoko. I have a lot of recommendations. Kohl's as well. God dang. So then the next day we had a bike tour, and basically we just biked around stuff, like biked around Manly Beach. And the story behind the name Manly Beach is the guy who found Manly Beach before it was called Manly Beach saw that the first peoples on Manly Beach looked incredibly quote unquote manly and muscular, like they were built. And so the guy, when he got there, said, I'm gonna call this Manly Beach, hence Manly Beach. Yeah, that's the name of Manly Beach. And so I took some pictures with Jeffrey near the water in Manly Beach. And this is what I wanted to do, was like, I'm gonna make a cute video, which is Jeffrey chilling by the water, and it's gonna be like 20 seconds of just you listening to water. But it was also very windy that day, so Jeffrey tried to escape, and that was unfortunate that Jeffrey tried to escape. Very unfortunate. Also in this picture, this is Jeffrey almost getting eaten by a turkey. They just had turkeys walking around. They're just very curious. They tried to get into my bag and see if I had food, but like, there's no food in my bag. So it looked like, I guess he thought I was trying to give him food, so I thought he was gonna try to eat Jeffrey. You know, Jeffrey's Jeffrey. Jeffrey's chilling. And so we also biked up to, I think this is this what is it? The Syndey School of International Business or Tourism? And so here I had a question about flags. Our tour guide kept saying, this is the Australian flag and this is the Kiwi flag. And I was like, what's the Kiwi flag? And the tour guide was like, oh, it's the flag that's white that has the, what is it? What do you Commonwealth people call it? The Jack of, something Jack. And so it didn't occur to her that as the US citizens, we don't know what a Kiwi is. And she was like, oh, what is a Kiwi? It's what we refer to as the New Zealanders. And so then I got into this whole conversation about the Union Jack, thank you. And then I got into this whole conversation about the Commonwealth and like the Kiwi flag. It's the New Zealand flag. It's the New Zealand flag. But then they're like, oh yeah, like we call, what is it? The Australians are called Aussies. We call the UK people the quote unquote Poms. And then apparently the New Zealanders are the Kiwis, and then the stateside, the United States people, we're the Yanks. And I was like, huh, I mean that tracks, you know, we're the Yankees, like, spelled what we did, you know, 1776 New York City, pardon me, are you Aaron Burr, sir? Well, that depends who's asking. It's anyways, so yeah, I was like, huh, Kiwi flag. You could just refer to it as the Kiwi flag. Fascinating. And so I also learned that the British were called the Poms. Yeah, Poms. I still don't understand it. Like, how did they get Poms? Where did Poms come from? I have lots of questions. On the tour, I think I learned more about the Commonwealth than I needed to. Like, the whole Commonwealth thing. Like, they have their own Commonwealth games. Like, you know, what if the United States, we just like stuck around? We could have been a part of the Commonwealth, but you know, no taxation without representation. I'm not saying we should join up in the Commonwealth. I'm not saying that. But you know, life could be different. Life could have been different. Biking tour was fun. Okay, at the end of the day, I found this place that sold end of the day discount sushi. And this is the same day they had the fish market sushi. So, basically, this whole tray was less than $20. I think this was like $15 worth of sushi right here. At the Syndey Fish Market, this was $20 of sushi. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes more is better, like when you're hungry for dinner. And this is $20. This is absolutely value. But I will confidently say, this sushi tasted a lot better. When I ate this eel, oh my god, the eel was so thin. Like, the skin was like non-existent. The eel had no flavor. The rice was way too hard. The sauce was overbearing where you could not taste anything. And, I mean, it was still sushi though. Like, I can't complain. Like, it was cheap end of the day sushi. I actually did go back here and get more cheap end of the day sushi another day. I also got more solo and I got watermelon juice as well. But like after going to the Syndey Fish Market and eating like the fresh salmon and the fresh eel and then getting end of the day discount sushi, like it showed. And yeah, this was all for like $15. Oh man, like the hard part about Australia is getting there. So yeah, I don't know what station it was, but there's like a sushi restaurant in the basement of a train station, and at the end of the day, they're just trying to get rid of everything. So they sell like their rice bowls for like $5. The sushi, like depending on the kind of box you get, it's like $3, $4, $5 AUD, and that's not even with conversion. So yeah, it was really cheap. Again, like if I wanted quality sushi, I'd go back to Fish Market. But like if I just need to fill myself, end of the day discount sushi. So the day that I went to Sydney, let's just say I went to South by Southwest. Not really. South by Southwest was being hosted in Sydney that day. So I actually did keep a lookout for some of the Australian influencers that I know. I know like John Ong, said that he was doing a presentation here. Jonathan Ong is like a musician that I look up to. He's got like a PhD in music. And on his Twitch channel, he basically live learns everything and just like makes music on the fly. He's incredible. But like I was walking around just chilling. We got like a pork roll, Vietnamese pork roll. And this was so much food. That's ridiculous. I also found a toasty. And this toasty was like a Korean style toasty. So like they used a really fluffy Korean bread. And I think this toasty had eggs, spam, and cheese with a lot of mustard. It was really good. I ate these in one go. And then after that, I walked to what they call something market. I don't know what kind of market it was. Oh, market. It was this one. This market. So yeah, like walked around here and saw some cool food. Walked in the mall. And so I finally here basically got the opportunity to play Mario Kart. Yeah. That was fun. Toasties are amazing. It's basically just like Toasties are the equivalent of what we have as a panini. Yeah, this was a lot of food for very cheap. This was also very tasty. But I finally, in the mall, I found a Mario Kart booth, and I was like, you know what? I should finally play Mario Kart. It was $250 a play, AUD. So it's like $175-ish. But the Mario Kart game, I want to buy this cabinet and just play it on my own. It was amazing. I did not know how to pick characters, so I got auto-selected into Baby Peach. Not what I wanted. Also, I think your item choices are locked in as well. So I'm also sorry about your back pain, bro. I hope you're able to take care of it and like it gets better. But like the Mario Kart, it was a bit of a learning curve, and I definitely screwed up on my last lap where I got second. But it was a ton of fun. Like, it felt so good to play Mario Kart with the steering wheel, and I'm gonna buy one of these cabinets one day. I will buy a Mario Kart cabinet. Like, the drifting felt so cool with the pedal. Like, it felt really cool. Basically, I had one foot on the pedal, and then the other was the brake. And so, like, in Mario Kart, how you, like, push R to brake, or, like, to hop and turn, you just push the other pedal. And then the items were, I think, pre-selected, so I didn't have many options. They had a lot more characters. They had, like, Pac-Man in there. I think because they had to collaborate with Capcom, like, they had the Tycho character in there as well. I thought about picking him. But there's There's a lot more options in Mario Kart DX, and I need to find a way to play it more regularly. I also know that there's like a tournament Mario Kart DX mode. I also played the Taiko no Tatsujin game. I actually do have this game on Switch, and I've considered buying like one of the pads, but I did the Evangelion theme, and that was really hard, but it was so much fun. And then I did a crane game. And I actually pulled something. So hold on, we will watch this. So that's a Totoro right there. I'm sorry the quality is a potato. And that is Totoro. You can't see me because doxing, but I'm like double checking everything. I'm double checking angles, and we will watch Totoro being acquired. Yes, Totoro. I am a pro. I crane game. That Totoro that actually took my second try. So I had 5 tokens in general. So after that, I tried to get this blue Totoro back here, but he just kept falling out. I think with the small cranes, I've noticed that sometimes the grip strength changes. So it's basically like gacha. So I saw this guy here who had like a giant cup of coins, and basically you just keep putting coins in until I think he got the grab that he wanted. Sometimes like they didn't drop in the right place. So yeah, I now have like a new Totoro friend hanging out on my microphone. He chillin'. But I picked up Totoro, and I like crane games a lot. Definitely want to do more. I'm not going to be able to return to Australia for a long time. Australia is really expensive to travel to, just in general. Like, I will not be able to go back to Australia forever. It's going to be a long time, basically. The way that I got to Australia, I did not get any external funding for this trip yet. I basically had to use all of my lifetime credit card rewards points combined with my flight company points to travel to Australia for quote unquote free. But I saved up so much to get here, and like that doesn't even include like housing and stuff. So yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do like an Australia trip for a long time, but oh my god, I want to go back. The tickets for Australia are really expensive. But anyways, I found some food while I was here. The really cool food that I found was this place called Yapari Steak. I don't know if you've ever been here before, or like if this is, I'm guessing this is a chain. Stop it. Go back. Yeah, so the premise of the steakhouse is they let you cook your own steak on a lava plate. So you can see over here, they basically just give you a chunk of meat and they give you a lava plate, and then you can determine how you cook it. Also, this beef, I think it was Wagyu quality beef. Not like the best Wagyu, but it was Wagyu beef. And so basically like you cut it and you cook it as much as you want. So I basically ate it raw. And then I also found another restaurant that sold this was a Singaporean restaurant or a Hong Kong restaurant. It's Singaporean, Hong Kong, or it's Canto. I don't know, but this was like I forgot what they sold. And then at the grocery store was amazing. I picked up Asian alcohol here. Like I bought Taiwanese beer. It's so good. I only bought one beer. It was like on sale for like $2 AUD, so it was like $1.50 at most. And like they had other beers on sale that I have in my refrigerator that I need to drink. But like they had so much Asian alcohol there. Like it was almost all Asian alcohol. I didn't realize we had that many things. I just like soju. So like in the States, like you get soju, you might get some the Japanese beverage, I forgot what it is. But like you don't get Asian beers usually, aside from like the big brand names. But these like smaller fruit flavored brands, it was really delicious. Like I could actually just casually drink those things. And then I also got like a Hokkaido baked cheese tart. Also, at one of the grocery stores, I didn't know Netflix got into food, but they sold like Squid Game stuffed potato mashies. Like, why is this Squid Game themed? How is this related to Squid Games? Also, Netflix scoops Ahoy vanilla and cookie pieces. Like, what is the theme? Like, tell me, where are you going with this marketing? How does this work? I'm just kind of surprised that Netflix is in the food game. I don't know if these are in U.S. grocery stores. Someone will have to inform me. I've never seen these in my U.S. grocery store. But I thought this is a fascinating concept, especially for Squid Game. Okay, the one thing that bothers me about Squid Game branding is the whole point is to challenge capitalist systems and to critique the system, right? Like, it's saying that rather than toiling away in a system that is inherently unfair, you have a better shot of making it in a game that risks your life. And then they make stuffed potato mashies? Like, that is incredibly inconsistent of the message of the game, Squid Game. Even the point of them making a second Squid Game, like, that defeats the effectiveness and themes and points of what Squid Game is supposed to represent. When you make it into freaking stuffed potato mashy, sweet chili, and freaking garlic and herb. I'm gonna just go to the next slide. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Eat Netflix food while watching Netflix for full immersion. Yeah, I think that's the good branding message to go with. Yep. So moving on, next slide. Toilets. Oh my God, it's 5:20. Is Ayla still going? Is Ayla still going? Okay. We're gonna go through these semi-quickly. So, the toilet ratings will include some of the places that were not mentioned, like airports. So, I was originally going to put this into a form and then visualize the data on stream, but I didn't realize I've been talking for 2 hours and 20 minutes. So we're gonna make this quick. I'm not gonna document my findings today. I will document my findings and put them into a separate document and then make a visualization of this later because I have a problem. First up, this is my toilet on the way to San Francisco. 4 hour, this is San Francisco. All right. Toilet 4 hours in. I will say, toilet paper, it's kind of meh. It's an airplane. 2, that's definitely a 2. Toilet time, for you. Okay, Chance, we just got through the whole actual Australia trip. So this is our quote unquote toilet tier list. I will not have a formal tier list of like A, B, C, D, but I will verbally say what my score. Actually, you know what? We'll just put them over here. We'll only include overall scores for these toilets. Hold on. Let me toss this in. Okay. Overall score. I'm giving this toilet a 2. Why? The airplane toilet has an overall average score of 2 because 1, it's an airplane. What do you expect? 2, this is actually slightly decently clean for an airplane. Like, there's a lot of people on this plane who are using the toilet and the sink. I expect it to be a lot worse. 3, the flight attendants are not paid to clean toilets. They're flight attendants. They go through a lot of training not to clean your toilet. So for overall, this is probably better than sometimes even the Amtrak stations and the train stations that I go to. This is a pretty solid toilet. Not the place I choose to go to the bathroom, but it's not terrible. Overall score, 2. 2 out of 5. Fun thing I found here. I didn't mention this. This is one of the airports in the United States. This is an Australian airport toilet. Notice the urinals are very different. This is an American urinal. This is a US urinal. This is an Australian urinal. The Australian urinals also don't have a flush. Okay, some of them don't flush. But this one's just like a hole in the wall. Like a literal hole in the wall. The United States toilets, like, it's got form and function. I don't know why. I truly have no idea why the urinals look different. I don't know why we have preferenced ourselves on urinals, but that is that was a culture shock thing to me, right? That is just the way the urinals are. Also, for the femme people who have not used a urinal before, you're gonna get a lot of urinals. I showed this to Ayla before, and Ayla was like, what? I feel like I'm like infringing on the male toilet space, or like the mask toilet space. So yeah, for femme people, here are urinals. That's what they look like. Kind of weird. Okay. This is the original Melbourne toilet. Overall score. Even though it is not a functional toilet, I'm giving this a 4. The reason being, it fills the space well. When you want to go back in time and imagine a toilet, this is what you get. Aesthetically, a 4. Overall qualities, like, you know, experience pooping, 2. That's probably a 1. This is probably a legitimate 1. Toilet paper, I don't think there is anyway, so there's a 1. But I'm still giving this toilet a 4, okay? This toilet is still a 4 because it captures the aesthetic of the space. Melbourne Square Toilet. This is a goddamn fancy toilet for a mall. I was impressed. The urinal, very clean space. Look at the aesthetics of the sinks. Like, god dang, that is a fancy sink. It made me feel fancy. There's also this nice dryer. I did not get to look in. Overall, this is probably a 3.75. Overall score for this toilet, 3.75. Reason being, it still doesn't have, I don't think the toilet paper was of the highest quality. The toilet paper, while we respect Crap Man and him wanting to take care of being environmentally friendly, my butt also wants soft toilet paper, and I don't think, when I looked at the toilet paper in there, I don't think it was the softest toilet paper. Also, if we compare this to Taipei's airport, which is like almost a 4 or 5, like almost a 5, like the stall, like there's a lot of space between stall, like you don't get your own stalls, etc. But like this is probably way up there in the top tier toilets. This is a very nice bathroom, and I think the only problem is like you can see someone walk through. All right, next toilet, Asian Beer Cafe. I posted about this toilet with Astro Boy, but I was told, my friend who told me about this, who took me to this place, told me that I have to go to these bathrooms because of an old Reddit post about here. This is a urinal found in Asian bar in Melbourne. This is called Asian Beer Cafe. Notice, this has anime waifus. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I think it's real weird that they have anime waifus on their urinals. Like, I feel very odd about peeing on anime. I have weird feelings about peeing anywhere aside from a toilet. Yeah. Like, yeah. I'm not into that. I'm not into that world. But yeah, look, Astro Boy. Now, what I will say is, when I was there, they did get rid of the anime waifu. So this is the urinal. There is currently no longer any anime waifus on the urinal. The Asian Beer Cafe has gone with a more generic, like, street bar vibe. What I will say, the toilet experience, while I will be frank, since I heard about the anime waifus, I was expecting anime waifus in the bathroom. And I will say, though, it was a weird toilet experience. Like, this urinal, the way this operates is you stand on the grate and you pee into the steel. And I was not used to that or prepared for that. That was a very new peeing experience for me. It was a new state of peeing, one would say. And it was odd. It's very odd. Also, Martin, I completely agree. Probably a good call from them. Yeah. Also, like, again, just looking at, like, it feels weird. Oh, man. Anyways, cleanliness was there. The toilet paper, probably 3.5. Aesthetically, like, I don't feel comfortable peeing into that urinal. I'm gonna give it like a 3.25 because of the Astro Boy aesthetic. When you walk into the toilet, and how they have made corrections on their about the anime waifu experience. This is not the only place that had women in the bathrooms on the urinals. I will give a warning now, like, this is not the first not anime waifu, but anyways, let me show you the next one. So for our tour, when we went outside, we met at like a random casino place, and this is a fancy toilet. I'm gonna give it like a 3.75. It's up there. But again, even like there's walls between the urinals, but notice like they have these women on the walls like waving at you when you pee. I don't know. I just want to pee. I don't need an experience. Okay, I want an experience, not that one. Like, if I'm peeing, I think what they're going for here is like, oh, these women want your attention because you're well endowed. I don't know why there's pictures of women in this bathroom. I truly have no idea. I don't know how masculine. I don't know why it is like this. I'm not going to think too much into it on stream because that's just gonna go down a bad rabbit hole. I had this conversation with Ayla and it just did not go well. Like, it truly, no matter how I framed it, no matter how I entered or exited it, like, it just never ended well. So I'm gonna give it a 3.75, ignoring everything else about the bathroom. If we okay, actually the pooping experience looks pretty good. I will give this one a 4. I will give this a 4. Actually, I'm giving it 3.75 because I don't like the aesthetic. I am not down for the women waving at me as I pee in my urinal. I don't. Please stop. Yeah. 3.75 on that toilet. This is a very well-made bathroom, just not down for the women waving at me. Okay, next. This is Melbourne Terminal 2 Airport. Now, this is a fancy airport. I will put this at a 4. The reason being, look at their sink. Like, it's all in one place. You water, you soap, you dry, all in order. So you just move down. The windows are still clean. That toilet is a solid, clean toilet. It does not have a bidet, but it is very close to bidet quality. Okay, it doesn't have a bidet, so it's not close to bidet quality. But, like, the doors are long. The toilet paper is okay. Like, this is solid. It's not. Maybe I should bump up the score here. Maybe. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give this I'll give this a 4 because it's an airport terminal. We'll give this a 4. All right. This is Syndey Terminal 2 Airport. Drastically different. Their toilet doesn't look as nice, but they have a nice space over here for you to store your stuff. The sink here, the sink did not work well. The sink, like, the button to push it was not intuitive and did not make sense. I did not know for the longest time there was a button to push, so I just stood there with my hands, like, you know, putting it under the sink, like, does this thing work? But there was a button to push. So 3.75 in my book because that didn't make sense. Toilet paper is okay. Walls are fine. Very clean though. Like, it's a clean. Oh, this is the wrong one. It's a clean bathroom. Would recommend if you are in Melbourne Terminal 2, use the bathroom before you get on your plane. The Syndey Opera House. After our tour, we got to see the Syndey Opera House, and I will say, I think the aesthetics on this one are a 5. And the reason I give the aesthetic a 5 is because, one, notice that the bathroom is open air, and you can see the ceiling of the Syndey Opera House. The story that goes with this is that the Syndey Opera House is built using steel beams and cement, and there's a lot of history that goes into those steel beams and cement, and that story is told through the bathroom. So instead of having women stare at you in the bathroom, you can stare at the ceiling and be like, wow, that's really cool. They incorporated the design into the bathroom. Many of the colors in this area are very reminiscent of the rest of the opera house. It matches really, really well. Also, the lighting in the opera house suggests what you should be doing. This toilet paper being lit here, like, it's suggesting, look, here's the toilet paper. Use the toilet paper. And like, even the lighting over here, this is Syndey. Yeah. And so, even the lighting here is like, oh, this is the lighting that worked. Like, come over here and wash your hands. I think this is actually, I'm sorry. Let me move Syndey Terminal 2 Airport to 4. These worked. The Opera House, though, the Opera House was the one I got confused. I was like, I kept holding my hands under and then it wasn't pushing. But also, notice aesthetically how the sinks look like a wave, much like the Syndey Opera House. Like, basically, this bathroom is one of the, by far, the best aesthetic spaces. All joking aside from the Melbourne Museum toilet, like everything aesthetically in this bathroom makes sense and matches the broader theme of the Syndey Opera House. Also, hello Dungeon D, welcome on in. And even the toilet has a very unique design to it. Notice some of the other toilets that we've looked at so far. Like there's that toilet. These very much seem like average toilets that okay, not that one. These seem like pretty average toilets, but when you look at the Syndey Opera House toilet, that's a unique toilet design. It's also built into the wall, so it really minimizes everything. So for this bathroom, the toilet paper was, from what I understand, pretty average, a 2.5. But aesthetically, that's like a 5. This is my first aesthetically 5 bathroom. And I would say overall experience in the bathroom is like a 4.5 because that doesn't suggest it's automatic. So like this is a 4.5 toilet. Like one of the best toilets I have seen, period. One of the best bathroom experiences by far. Would recommend, if you have the opportunity, just kind of experience the toilet. Maybe go on a tour and go after the tour so you're not there during a concert where this place is like full. But yeah, this was a good toilet experience. And like even acoustically, it was a nice bathroom. I mean, you're not having conversations with the people in the toilet. I hope you don't. It's kind of weird if you like, actually for guys, it's kind of weird if you just like start a conversation at the urinal. Yeah, we're peeing. You want to chat? I don't know. Do people talk to each other when they're peeing? We're moving on. Syndey Market. So this is the Syndey Market. This is where I played Mario Kart and stuff. This is a pretty average bathroom. Overall, like experience wasn't great. Not the cleanest spaces. Lots of bathroom, takes in people well. I'm going to give it like a 3.5. In comparison to some of the other mall bathrooms, it's not fantastic, but it does its job well. Finally, I think this is by far one of the worst bathrooms I've been to. This was in a, this was at a restaurant. This was one of the Hojak. The food was really good, and I think they should step up their bathroom game to match their food. The door was kind of broken. Getting to the bathroom was kind of terrifying. In the bathroom, just a toilet. It's like, I don't know, it just kind of seems kind of menacing. Like when you look at that toilet, like look at the red toilet, just look at it. Like that toilet doesn't invite you to be sat on. That toilet, like, it feels menacing. Like that toilet is staring at me with malice. Like that toilet wants my poo, or like it's like, give me your digestive tracts. Like, it just doesn't feel friendly. Like it's not a place I want to do my business. And so, also the colors are really off. Like it hurts. I will say the sink is very cool. Like aesthetically, the sink works. But that sink cannot save the whole toilet experience. This is unfortunately going to be like a 2.75 in my book, because like it's just, compared to some of the other bathrooms that we've seen so far, it is not fantastic. Actually, it's probably going to be more like a 2. Like the food was really good at Hojak. Would recommend the food here, but I would say save your bathroom. Like go to the mall across the street after you use the bathroom here. That's the combo. Go eat here. Go to the bathroom here. And then the last bathroom I had, the Syndey International Airport Terminal. It's kind of ugly, and I only got the urinals, so I'll give it like a 3. I'll give it a 3. And that's my part for just not being able to do more research. I'm guessing because it's just not as nice as some of these other mall ones, and the sinks were just kind of there. It wasn't fantastic. Overall experience, meh. So anyways, let us review our scores that we have so far. We have our first 4.5 toilet rating from the Syndey Opera House. As expected, well done Syndey Opera House. Would bathroom there again. Overall, my flight toilet, it was not a bad experience. I expected worse. Um, oh, that looks like a bathroom, but in a public art museum. um, Overall, the Syndey Melbourne Museum, overall 4 aesthetics. Aesthetics is what won this toilet over. 3.75 for most of my bathroom experiences. Peeing on anime women, waifus, maybe not my vibe, someone out there's vibe. Peeing with women staring at me, not down for that experience. Sydney terminals, super nice, makes sense, good toilets. Terminal 2, very nice toilets as well. Opera House toilet, best toilet, would toilet again, would recommend toileting here. And then finally closing in on the market, terrifying toilet, and the last toilet that I saw on my trip. And that is basically what I did in Australia for a week and a half. Yeah. Pachi. So yeah, I'm going on another trip. Okay, I'm actually going on a lot of trips the next couple of months. I'm surprised management lets me. Next month, I will be headed to the UK and Iceland. So you will be seeing more toilet ratings and you'll be seeing more Jeffrey next month while I am in the UK and Iceland. And then in January, I've actually booked a trip to France. They had cheap tickets, and I was like, I'm a grad student. There are cheap tickets. While I don't have a ton of money, I have freedom. So I'll also be going to France. So in the next couple of months, you will be seeing a lot more of these travel recaps. You'll also be seeing a lot more Jeffrey. You'll also be seeing a lot more. Basically, I don't know if anyone else has gone travel tubing, but I'll take it. I will take it. So we'll try to meet up with some folks if we ever have the opportunity to do so. But yeah, surprisingly, it's cheaper to go to Disneyland Paris than it is to Disneyland California. Yeah, I gotta travel as much as I can. Okay, I've been to British bathrooms. They're tiny. Also, Americans are big. I think the U.S. U.S. citizens are just generally bigger. But the British bathrooms are tiny. Like, oh my god. I also have to dress a lot nicer when I'm in the UK. Like, when I was in Melbourne, people were just walking around in sweats. I was like, UK, I actually have to dress up, like wear a dress shirt to walk around and look decent. Anyhow, is Ayla Ayla's not finishing soon, right? We gotta raid Ayla. Okay, Ayla's still doing her thing. Okay, she's got her death counter up too. But with that, I want to say thank you all. Thursday, we'll be stacking fruit. Stacking freaking fruit. Ugh. I finally downloaded Suika. I played it. I'm really bad at it. I hate it. It's such a dumb game. Ugh. And then other things coming up. I think I'm trying to do one horror collab. Oh, no, I owe you one horror game. We will be playing Doki Doki Literature Club. We will absolutely be playing Doki Doki Literature Club sometime next week. I am trying to ride the Suika wave because they just released it in English, and I figured might as well ride the wave while it's going. Our horror game will be Doki Doki Literature Club. There will be many trigger warnings. I have played the game once. It made me go to therapy. We worked through our problems. I'm in a better place. We're going to hang out with our favorite anime girls. City Skylines 2 has also recently come out. We will get to City Skylines 2 at some point. But no worries, Martin. Please go to sleep. I think that is everything from me. I want to make sure that we can raid into Ayla and hang out with Ayla because Ayla's the bestie. Ayla is truly the bestie. And she looks like she's having a fun time. And my voice is going because this is the most talking I've done in a long time. So with that, I want to say thank you to you all. I appreciate you. Thank you for dealing with me as I go on these many trips. We will start branding ourselves as Travel Tuber because I put out regular content still. Oh, also, shorts. Shorts this week will be cute aggression, why it is a thing, and how the study approaches it. From this paper, I have also found another paper on the most ideal qualities of cuteness. So we'll also be reading that paper. So we've got 2 papers coming up that will be summarized. I also have some shorts before autumn actually sits in. There is a jazz standard called Autumn Leaves that I want to go through. I've got some other music worked out as well. I have a new original song that I came up with that I really enjoy the words of. You know what? Let's just go through it. We're gonna sing the song once that I am working through. So we'll end on this song because I find it hilarious. This last song I will hopefully send you off on. I think it's a great song. Sometimes there are people that you just want to punch in the face. They're not cute. They're not fun. They're just smug and rude and make you really, really mad. So, what? Huh. I forgot. So yeah, you'll just have to wait. I forgot the words. I have it recorded, so it's all good. So I'm gonna put that out. Might have sent us off with the music. I'll send you off with the. Hold on. I'll actually just pull up the background music for you. let me send you all off on the what I sent to Ayla today. And this is not like the full edited version, but I will get the edited version out there. I need to make it better. Okay. Is this? Let me check if this is it. Let me switch to our closing. Let me check if this works first. Let me desktop audio off. Okay. All right. I'm gonna send you off on this song, and then we're gonna go raid Ayla. But thank you all for being here. I'm gonna mute the usual track, and then we will get the song that I call, quote, Punch in the Face. Have a wonderful evening and time to peace out. Goodbye. End card. Okay. Here is the song.
Sometimes there are people that you really just want to punch in the face.
Oh, it's Zhuni.
It's not like a cute kind of Kevin. Cute. They're not fun. They're just smug and rude, and they make you really mad. Why do they exist? Are they here to make me suffer? Just wanna punch you in the face, but I know that I shouldn't. It's rude, it's not acceptable by societal standards. There are other ways to sort through my feelings. Whoa, I imagine punching you makes me feel so much better. The urge is so strong, but I know that I'm stronger. So no, I won't punch you in the face today, but I'll make passive-aggressive comments and avoid you in every possible way. You should probably communicate your feelings about this with the person at the sometime, but maybe you shouldn't. I'm not your therapist.